Hello, welcome. Welcome to the office hours. Hopefully, everything should be fixed now. For those of you who don't know, especially on YouTube, the way I usually do the office hours setup. By the way, welcome to the office hours. This is a live stream that I do, Twitch and YouTube, where we kind of talk about news and lore and other stuff like that. So, ARD Madeira. Madeira. Right. Night Cobb, Wars Heck, Corn Cobb, how you doing? Treesan, how's it going? So the chat shouldn't be as delayed, because what I usually do my YouTube is I use the previous stream for the settings for the next stream. And the problem is that by doing so,
you can take away my spaceship.
I've had the delay for everywhere. Now I've removed the delay for this one.
Take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can
Never.
Ever. Take away my space game.
Ghost 1800 just resubscribed for 39 months. Beep boop, just getting this out of the way.
Thank you so much for that. Let's see, that beep boop. Ghost for that 39 months. You're a very important part, very impressive, of any pedestrian. This is your show. You're drinking out. Shots and shoes. What are the shots and shoes? Let's do that. Go away. There we go. Welcome back. Hey man on crutches. Compav. Rusty Sniper, how y'all doing? Exuberance, yes, exuberance. Refresh the stream, see if make sure everything's good. The YouTube stream, just double checking some stuff. Awesome. But no added delay. It is currently at low latency, so you should be able to see it. Yeah, you just missed the dance, T-Jack. There should be no latency. Anywho, welcome everybody. This is we're gonna get started pretty early on. I'm gonna actually just draw the winner right off the bat from the last month because we've been delaying it for enough. This is from last month. The current winner is available. I don't know if I don't think I updated the stuff. Let me update the stuff real quick. Okay. November is updated. There we go. And then we've got oop, doop, 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 doop. November. A1. A Spirit. A1. Crusader. Okay. All right, November, edit. V. Boom. Timer. Everything should be good now.
You can take away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Captain Jokero just resubscribed for 3 months. Thanks for all that you do for this community, Paul. Keep up the good work. Shorts and cheers.
Thank you, Captain Jokero.
You can take away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never,
Never.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Iris Red Tide just resubscribed for 10 months. What's this about a lay? The
Thank
lay
you.
is basically what Star Citizen is all about for me right now. Unless 3.22 or whatever is out now.
What is it about a lay? Delay? Oh, haha, very funny.
_5 just resubscribed for 55 months. Weapons free you all.
Thank you so much there. Sci-Fi for the 55 months. Iris for that 10 months. Jakara for the 3 months. And Arkin for the 20 months.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never,
Never.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Akihan just resubscribed for 20 months.
Thank you all for that support. Y'all love it. Love y'all. Thank you much. Shots and cheers in chat. Today's been a weird day for me. It's just been a very weird day for me. So, I'm not going to go into too much details. Just weird stuff. Thank you, Trudy.
_San just gifted 5 subs.
You get those 5 subs there, Tree San. Okay, we're just going to keep doing this for a while.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
MMOR Goat just resubscribed for 13 months. Hey. Pub Party Pub Helmet Pub Party 07.
Thank you so much, Morgoth, for that 30 months. And thank you, Tree, for gifting those 5 subs. You're all very important pubbers, very impressive pisters, very neat pedestrians. You rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Completely insane week patch / news-wise. Even the ISC, which I thought was going to be low effort, was interesting. Also, honest conference, CitCon, it was funny. Harsh, but funny. I haven't seen all of the, that. We're going to watch ISC next, but... So before we were doing all this, I was going to draw the winner for last month's giveaway. And that winner is... Oh, Pip Pip. Hold on. Marshlug? MARSHALLUGH. Okay. Some stuff here real quick. What's OPP IP? No. I'm just going to do this because no, it's not it either. Oh. No. Message them on Twitch. Hopefully they have that. But yeah, it's Marshall Lou. Marshall Lou is the winner. Congratulations on that. They're probably asleep right now because I see where they're from, and they're from some place. I'll just say this: they're in Europe. I know where they are in Europe, and they're in Europe, and they're probably asleep. They entered on the 8th, though. 8th of October. Hey, Salty Dog. Yo, Paul, great charity event last weekend. First time I was watching a super long time, and that was great all the way through. Thank you for watching, Steven. For those of you watching on YouTube, the YouTube version of it doesn't work, so I have to upload. I uploaded the VOD of the YouTube version up to YouTube, of the Twitch version to the YouTube, and it's still processing. I'm gonna give it a couple of times because it may be that like just YouTube does not do, because I know they generally speaking they don't do upwards of 24 hours. So I think they only do 12-hour videos is the maximum. So if that doesn't work, then I'll just split it in half and release it on YouTube unlisted for those who want to watch it. So thank you for joining us, y'all. I do want to thank the like 50 odd or 70 odd of y'all who popped in the first 15 minutes of me starting the streaming on Twitch, and the almost 40 of y'all who are on, or 35 of y'all who are on YouTube. It's nice to have you come on. We do this on Thursdays, almost every Thursday, around this time. So, what was the total amount raised after Monday's matching from companies? I don't know if they went to my link to a match, but it's over 10,000. Easily over 10,000. I don't think it's 11,000, but it's over 10,000. Let me look at the.
You can take away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never,
Never,
ever take away my space game.
Yeah, it didn't go over. It's $10,002.
Iron God has subscribed.
Thank you so much for Iron Cod for that subscription to Twitch Prime. Are you from a Twitch Prime to a tier 1? You are a very important pupper, very impressive pisser, very neat pedestrian. This is your fault. The reason I'm drinking that. Shots and cheers, y'all. Shots and cheers. Yeah, I'll tell you the total because you are all children. But the total was $10,000, $10,002.69. And he's on the hangers. Nothing that I know of, no. you were all children. I made that joke many times over the 24 hours, which is, you know what they say about men. We don't grow up, we just grow old. All right, so let me pull up this. I saw some of the stuff people were saying. Paul, you're on ISC. I'm like, yeah, my chubby ass is there, but
It's
let's
the morning
watch it.
before things get started. People are still asleep in their beds. The beginning of day 2. We've never done a day 2 before, but the
I was there.
glamorous hosting life out front is nothing compared to.
I was there around the same time because we got there early. They let us come in a little early, those of us who were competing in the fight or flight, so we could play on Pyro for a bit. So
The draining and exhausting life behind the scenes. Let's take a tour of the production area when nobody's here. Nothing is working, including my voice.
yeah, voices were shot after that. So weird.
Do I have to crouch? I can't see where my head's at.
So I'm so used to this hall being there for the anime convention. I'm used to seeing that shape for the anime con, or for I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, like just like I'm like, it was weird walking in there. I'm like, what the fuck? What I think of Pyro? I mean, before everyone else got to play with it, I mean, I played a little bit. It's good. It's it has the solar flares are definitely different. It's missing a lot of the stuff that I think is going to make Pyro so iconic to a lot of people, like the faction systems and such. So
When I talk to me, just go, "Hi, everybody. Welcome to Inside Star Citizen." For years, we have wanted to do a true behind-the-scenes look at the making of CitizenCon. We've never been able to do it, but now, thanks to the lovely assistance of Tom and David. Say hello, Tom and David.
Hello, Tom and David.
We are here at the LA Convention Center. And
Paul was there when the wall fell.
October 18th, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going to take a look at the progress, or rather lack thereof, these things really do come together in the last minute, of the LA Convention Center. So let's go inside and take a look.
Yeah, this whole thing got brought up in about a day.
We are here at the big lobby. You might recognize this from all those videos you watched before. We're heading into West Hall, which is Petrie Hall. That's the hall that we are inhabiting this week. We are here inside Hall A. This is an awfully big room. This is where the main stage will be, and the roughly 3,000 people that are in attendance to watch CitizenCon, all the presentations, the stuff that we've been working very hard on for the last several months.
Yeah, we found out that it was about 3,000. We thought it was going to be about 4,000, but they had about 3,500 chairs.
We are here in Hall B. This is where the main action of CitizenCon comes. This is where the community booth, the Pyro Playground, the Dragonfly, the Atmo Esports. Obviously, we're going to check in here in a little bit as more progresses. Running out of gas. So this is the part you never see. This is the Pyro Playground before the Pyro Playground. This is the room.
It was 110?
150 computers.
150.
Plus quite a few spares and quite a few alternates. This is a massive undertaking for the first playable Pyro here at CitizenCon. These are the true.
And CLX came through and did that. Like, they do this sort of thing for a lot of different conventions, but I think CLX was hooked up by, or I think Crew hooked up CIG with CLX, because Crew does a lot of these conventions, and CLX is at all of them, so.
True heroes, the people from IT.
Hey, it's Stat! Hi, Stat! You can see, that expression never left his face. The entire convention. Everything's gonna fuck up. Everything's gonna fuck up.
And the player experience.
What are you doing? I'm an IT systems engineer here at Cloud Games, and I am setting up the Pyro Playground, helping Ahmed with the servers.
Hi, Ahmed.
From my
It's
perspective,
Ahmed.
it's been pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up a little bit so you understand
Background.
Ahmed.
Helping Ahmed with the servers.
Hi, Ahmed.
Ahmed is he's been with the company and been with the project almost since the beginning. As long as I've known, the first time I went to CIG LA, he was there. Austin, he was there. Ahmed is quite literally a black magician. The man is a wizard, a sorcerer. He can do anything. He can make things work that nobody else can. He He knows he speaks in riddles and whispers. He knows the will of the Omnissiah. He's the like head of Starfleet engineering as far as I'm concerned. Whenever something goes wrong and they don't know what to do, especially when it comes to like online code, stuff like that, it's Ahmed. Talk to Ahmed.
From my perspective, it's been pretty smooth sailing. I'm sure Miles' team has had a few surprises they've had to deal with. I'm sure Ahmed has had a few bumps as well, but we're other than that, we're smooth along pretty well.
This is where we call the command center. Command center is where all the actual important people who put this stuff together, Leah, Tyler, all them, that's where they kind of hold out and they address all the different issues that come up throughout the day. We're not allowed in there.
We couldn't go in there. It was upstairs and no one was able to go in there.
Because there's some people who don't like to be on video. And so we're gonna respect their privacy. But imagine a big room with tables and chairs.
Like C-suite people.
And lots of laptops. You've seen it. We'll see if we can't bring some people out and have them tell you about what they're doing.
I'm Jake. I'm a
Hey!
for Star Citizen and Squadron 42. We are
Jake.
here
Hey.
at the Los Angeles Convention Center
Dan.
for CitizenCon 2953, the first in-person CitizenCon since 2019.
It's exciting, honestly.
Galactica.
And I can't wait to see what it looks like in a few more days.
I think it's going to be double in size
Oof.
what we had before. So this is going to be super amazing.
So today's the first day we're kind of all in the convention hall, putting everything together, and just seeing this stuff come to life is very, very cool so far.
Construction has begun, so it's we're starting to see things take shape, which is really exciting.
It feels crazy to walk in there and see how massive the space is when you first walk in there.
It's huge.
It's very echoey. It's very
No, Tony C wasn't on the show.
big.
Can I bring it up a little bit? Sure. I didn't want it to overwhelm.
So during CitizenCon, I'm actually the interstitial host of the Twitch stream. So my co-host is Jared. He's fine. You know, his writer is really intense. You know, like the single trailer just filled with beef sticks is a little much, but like, you know, it's Jared. We let him be.
I love that. The little Star Citizen riff. Do 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 do. I love the fucking motif, baby. More of that motif. So this is the Thursday. They're raising all the panels.
So it's day 2 of setup. We're starting to recognize the things that we've only seen in concepts leading up to the big show. And so I think it's just super exciting for everybody to see it all finally coming to life. So I'm part of the core event leadership team that's been planning this event for many, many, many months. And I can't tell you just how rewarding it is to see everything coming to life. I think for a lot of us, we're just as excited, if not more, than the attendees for CitizenCon.
We've had a number of technical issues.
Yep.
Not uncommon to a big event like this. The severe power issue that took about 6 hours to track down, which we finally resolved, but it set us behind. So we're now just going to test our first content on the screen. I believe we're going to start with Graham.
Audio can play a crucial role in the immersion.
Graham is the only pre-recorded video, so he'll be a good test for sync because we're going to see if the sound that comes out of the speakers matches the words that are coming out of his mouth.
My name is Michael Smith, also known as Bayor. I'm the director of the player experience team, and
Dr. Rock. So Bayer is the best PvPer who has ever lived. He is the Moses of PvP. And he's got the beard to prove it. He actually has a PhD in archaeology before he came to work for CIG. It's fucking amazing. He's a big he was a member of the captain's table. He was a member of the community for a very long time. before working for it, and he's the head of all the player experience. So any changes that you like, he's probably partially responsible, and any changes you didn't like, he probably is also responsible for it.
Michael Smith, also known as Bayor. I'm the director of the player experience team, and we are setting up the Pyro Playground right now. This one room, which is one of 2 rooms, is bigger than I think we've ever done with CitizenCon. We have 150 computers behind me, complete with all their mice and keyboards. 10 of those are set up with some VKB peripherals, left and a right stick. We also have Tobii eye trackers on 100 of the PCs.
It's allowing people to try it out if they haven't already.
That man is a champion. Thomas Papa was everywhere.
And they're able to experience increased immersion in Star Citizen.
I'm sort of responsible to make sure that the demo that the players get to experience here is playable, it's fun, that it transitions pretty smoothly for each of the little sessions they get to play, and just understanding that gameplay experience.
We're here in the LA Convention Center. It's chaos, as always. Good chaos. In 2018, we built a full-size Dragonfly for Austin CitizenCon. Chris Law from the ship team has done a whole new skin. The Dragonfly initially took 3 months to build. It's taken 4 or 5 days to repaint it, and it'll take us about 3 hours to put it back together. We built the Dragonfly for you guys to actually come and sit on. It's a great photo op. If you're here at CitizenCon in the flesh, you can come on. 1 or 2 people can sit on it, as inverse, forward, backwards, whatever you like. So you can come here, get a photo, memories forever.
Okay. I'm gonna be a TikTok star.
Ready, go.
Oh, Galaxy.
Drake.
That tracks. Keep it in.
As we walked in for the first time today, we could see our 30-foot banner.
Corsair
Atmo is actually here to bring a live tournament experience to CitizenCon. We're very excited. It's been 6 very hard years from the demo rally to Atmo Esports to actually come for the first time at the CitizenCon and put together a live tournament experience, not only for the fans.
Everything went wrong. It took us so long to get some of these things, but we faced it
for the competitors and the creators that are going to be competing. And I know
really
when
cool.
they come here, they're also going to. But for the competitors,
that was all done by Haskaha. Like all of these images, all of these were done by Haskaha. I don't know if Haskaha did the full composite. I think somebody else did it, but Haskaha got all these images to send them in.
And the creators that are going to be competing. And I know when they come here, they're also going to be pretty impressed with what we've done to put together here.
That's pretty cool.
You know, for me, it's been 4 long years without us being able to connect with our community.
Please stop yelling. I'll try to turn down my mic a little bit. I'm getting a little excited. I'm sorry, McP. Why is an archaeologist working for CIG? Are there bones to pick up? No, he's just a big fan of CIG. I'll keep it down a little bit.
Community in person, and I really can't stress just how much it means to us to be able to spend time with our audience in person. I think with any live event, and we've done a lot of these CitizenCons, there's always fires that have to be put out. Comparatively, though, things are going pretty smooth this year. And I'm probably going to regret saying that in like 15 minutes when one of these walls falls over on me.
Is that better? Did I get a little loud and it's still okay? This is the pre-registration.
When we're coming together in events like this, can actually, you know, connect faces and handles, and it's kind of like coming together as a family again.
Being able to put faces to a lot of the names that I interact with.
About 2 days, yeah. Set up in about 2 days.
On a day-to-day basis, I think honestly is the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to the most.
This is the first day too.
Being able to talk to backers and people who played the game directly was amazing.
It was super rewarding, just the conversations that I had with a lot of our backers, both at the event and also the kind of after party.
I love this.
Holby was really cool. I remember first seeing it on the Friday morning before.
Honestly, Holby was the best part of this whole thing. Like the presentation's nice, but like I said, I watched it at home and I got better experience at home than I was there. A little bit of it is, I would say you'd have to be there. Like the energy and everything was great, but like Holby was fantastic. It felt like a real convention.
it was even finished, and just being so impressed with all the dressing in there.
There's so much cool stuff to show. I want to make sure it all gets to be shown. And so that's my biggest worry, is that we're not going to have time to show all the cool stuff.
There was like a meet and greet area, the esports stuff was there. It was quite cozy, which was a nice feeling.
First moment on stage, kind of sank in a little bit of how large an event it was going to be. First moment on stage.
This man. This man causes me so much pain. He is responsible for so much of the pain I have in Star Citizen. It's so fucked up though that he's such a good guy. He's so goddamn good at his job. The temperature was warm on the first day. It was colder on the second day. Why? He's not the creator, but he's the one who brought the Redeemer into Star Citizen.
Stage kind of sank in a little bit of how large an event it was going to be.
Once you actually get ready to go on stage for real, that's when the nerves kick in.
Being the only person on stage with...
Okay. I actually talked with...
Stage for real, that's when the nerves kick in.
Being the only person...
Will Hain. I actually talked with Will Hain afterwards. Will Hain, and you've probably already heard this, but it was weird to hearing him talk about this. So this is one of the engine speakers. This is one of the men who can turn rocks into replicators. CIG is his first job in the industry. He walked out of university into CIG Manchester and has been there for 3 years. You know that face. He's been on ISE multiple times. This is the river guy, the water guy, right? You know what I'm talking about? This is the first time he's ever done anything like that. Like, dear God, like, holy fuck. Talk about like just jumping into the deep end on your first job.
Person on stage with that many eyes on you.
Because I was talking with him and another programmer was there, and I was talking. The other one had been with like Aaron and had been working in the industry for like 12 years. And I talked to Will about it, and Will was like, "Yeah, this is my first job in the industry." I'm like, "No shit."
New was very new and very scary.
Hello everyone, I'm Will Hain. I'm here to talk about water in Star Engine.
I was having a good time, but watching it back, I'm talking really fast.
We were excited. The crowd seemed to be buzzing from what we were showing. And
Mike
yeah,
Stone,
just lots of positive energy.
That was the other one I talked to, Mike Stone. He was the one who'd been there forever. So
we got a lot of positive feedback from the crowd. There's a lot of big cheers.
It was, in a way, all this build-up, and then it was over.
It kind of was a bit of a blur.
Then obviously a huge sense of relief once I was actually done.
Seems to have been well received, which has been really great.
I'd definitely do it again, for sure.
I didn't realize he's wearing like a tsunami shirt. What a rock star. What an absolute rock star.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to
CitizenCon 2953.
It works.
Bone? You go ahead, Bone. Bone, can you keep zooming in?
Bone. By the way, Galactica is very, very weirded out that all of us want to have her green dress be put in game. That green dress, she almost returned it. It's like, it's a little much. It was just like, nah, it's the perfect amount. It was the perfect amount. And I, for one, would love to see Galactica's ghoulish green dress in Star Citizen. It's got to be there. We got to put it in there. You got to put it in there. That's just the rules. The community's decided it's fun, it's funny and interesting and cool, so do it. It's a perfect amount of too much, also perfect for Star Citizen. Let me show you. Let's see if I can do this.
Phone? Do you go ahead, phone? Phone, can you keep zooming in?
Phone?
Zooming in.
See, like, that's just enough. It's just enough, right? I could see a Star Citizen character in that. It's perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Like 3 frames, yeah.
Thank you for joining us for CitizenCon. Come back tomorrow. We are here with members of the vehicle team.
Love the Xi'an too. Oh, hold on, I'll pause it when I get to me. I'm almost there. There I am. There I am. And my large and in charge man. The teacher sending his kids out. And that's G.I. Jew. So you can see my height, okay? So that's Detox. That is Gabs. That is Avenger. That is Bog. That is Verity. Do it, Bo. The one on the right, the one, oh yeah, me. No, the one on the right was not Zero State. That was Schwang. Basically, the Avengers' best friend. That's Schwang. Zero is over here on the left. Yeah, that's Zero over here. Zero is also pretty tall. Yeah, that's Schwang. He's also very, very good at dogfighting. Yeah. There's some sort of rule where like they just grow them bigger in Star Citizen. For some fucking reason. All of us are fucking huge. Like I'm 6'1" and I felt small amongst these folks. Oh yeah, let me see if I can't. I'll step it. That's Zero right there. That's Zero right there. Gabs is how do I put this? She's pocket sized. she's so small. And I mean that in the most loving way possible, Gabs.
We've been working on this for so long, and seeing the reactions of people in the auditorium is going to be something that I'm going to carry with me, probably for the rest of my life.
And he was crying at that point. It was. I have to say, like it was insanity. Like that moment was great. Like it was fantastic. CIG timed it perfectly. It was great.
Thank you guys very, very much.
Now they have to break everything down.
That's a little bit about the behind the scenes of CitizenCon.
Oh, there's this Dad Lando, and of course there's why am I blanking on your name, my friend? You're one of my oldest Star Citizen friends. He's Aussie. Athogen. That's Ath. That's Ath. Yeah, Ath, and that's Nighthawk. So this is Nighthawk, who's another old Star Citizen. I will say me and Nighthawk have liaisoned with something Star Citizen related, which is still very much in the deep dark. I'll let you know more when we can talk about it. And this is Ath, who's one of the... So, fun story about Ath. Ath is one of the older Star Citizen backers. I mean, that isn't like he's been around for a while. Ath worked in Hollywood as an effects guy. I think he did he worked on one movie in his career, which was Pitch Black. And he tutored under the effects manager for Babylon 5. He doesn't work at CIG now. Yeah. Yeah. He actually has a Patreon. I've been a Patreon of his for a long time, where he does animations and stuff like that of Star Citizen ships. And he still uses that kind of old Babylon 5 style in there. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's a hell of a legacy. He's also a veteran. Was a Aussie veteran who was in Vietnam. He brought his son too. His son was there too, which is great.
How that gets put together. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with normal shows next week. So from CitizenCon on the show floor, while everybody else is cleaning up and I'm doing this,
doesn't work.
this is Jared Huckabee saying thanks for watching. And I was going to say see you in the verse, but that was the old show. Oh, thanks for letting us share the process of game development with you. We'll see y'all here next week.
What did we learn today? Emotions.
Forgot my catchphrase, man.
He was so tired. He was so tired after that. Everyone was so shot. All right, I'm going to be right back, chat. I'll make sure all your fun stuff is on. Ugh.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
That's
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
I'm Fly.
Drugs.
I'm Pilot.
Everybody
and his dog calls himself an outlaw. I'm Pilot.
Drugs.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Distress bacon. Good news, everyone.
Weapons free, y'all.
Drugs. Yes, you can ask questions. Feel free to ask questions.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Doctor?
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy.
All right, turned off for your fun. No, we haven't done the monthly report yet. Yeah, he would have been hired by CIG, but he couldn't move to the US, yeah. What's my favorite soda? Mountain Dew's Gamer Fuel. That was my favorite soda of all time. I have a lot of memories of drinking it while playing Halo 3. But probably if it's like regular soda, it would be Diet Pepsi. Paul, when do you see the Liberator entering into at least PTU? 2 years. The earliest is 2 years. What was it like meeting Space Tomato in person? So here's a good. So this is a phenomenon that I've experienced many times in my life. I feel like this is going to sound really pretentious, but I feel blessed to have experienced this many times in my life. When you know people online for so long and you meet them in person, even though it's the first time you met them in person, so you already know who they are. Like, you already kind of feel that connection with them. You've already talked with them online. So it's like nothing. It's not like it's like this. The weird part about it is that it's not big. It's not a big deal. That's the weird part. It's very normal. And it's weird to be normal since you've never met them in person. Okay, ready to paste the Easter egg for the monthly report? What? Paul, any speculation about this mystery alien ship we seem to be getting at IAE? It's the Sulian that's been leaked a couple of times, so. But Space Tomato is as... Again, Tomato and I are friends. We're cut from the same cloth, I feel like, in terms of a lot of our tensions and how we act. So he's a very cool dude. His wife is intense and awesome. Honey is great, but you stick around Honey too much. She's got that Mediterranean in her. She's gonna make you get either fed or drunk. Probably both. Very fast. That is what happens. There's some talk about an Anvil capital military ship. What do we know about it? Are those rumors or something else? So there has been rumors floating around about an Anvil capital ship for a very long time, because they've been dropping hints at it left, right, and center in lore, in the game, and other possibilities as well. You're all talking about Mr. Tomato. It's like and the thing that I still believe is going to happen is, in lore, there is a missing Corvette that was built. It was designed by Case, Harold. I think it's Harold Case. Case himself, of Case Aerospace, which eventually got bought by Anvil Aerospace because J. Harris Arnold was inspired by Case and bought when he bought all the designs from Case Aerospace. That's when they released the Hurricane, which is actually a re-release of the second Tavaran War Hurricane, but it was been rebuilt. So Case was originally going to build the replacement for the Perseus, and then he died. So he designed it and died. So it was stuck in his things for a very long time. And the fact that they keep bringing up that fact, not the fact that he designed it, but that Case Aerospace is all owned by Anvil, and how much J. Harris Arnold loved Case Aerospace, and the fact that every IAE they talk about Anvil working closely with the Navy at MacArthur, which is not a place you go to develop small ships. Like, the smallest ship that they've developed is the Carrack, which is, again, an Anvil ship. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is definitely, like, indications that they want to build an Anvil Corvette. Something probably smaller than the Polaris, but bigger than the Perseus. And the problem is that I can almost already tell you what happened. This was a plan that somebody had and pitched, and was picked up, and the ship team liked it, but then the overall ship team looked at their schedule and were like, no, absolutely fucking not. Nope, no. There's no fucking way we're doing this right now. So, like, that's the thing. Like, there's just no way that they would be able to do a ship this, like, the size of the Perseus when they haven't even finished the Perseus yet. And an Anvil ship, which isn't in the they haven't started working on they have the larger, they have the Carrack, but they'd have to take the Carrack stuff and turn it into, yes, there's a huge kind of like problems. And I think what we'll see is that will probably come to light when the Carrack gets some of its touch-ups to make it more functional for multi-crew and some of the interiors for things like drones. So all the fancy combat capital ships. I still want the Perseus up armed tank tank to your fact capital. Luna, Via Nocturne, how y'all doing? Will the Constellation series and Freelancer series ever get full redesign or put them on par with the newest ships? They probably will never get a full redesign. They'll definitely get an interior redesign. If the Idris is a big gun of the Polaris is a big torpedoes, the Javelin is big rooms, and Kraken is big support, what do you think an Anvil Capital will be? Guns, pure guns. Because Idris is a big gun, but it's got a bunch of other things to it. I'd imagine like a Perseus, but without any torpedoes. Swap out any torpedo or missile capacity. Or maybe have missile capacity, but like swap out any torpedoes for like size 8, size 9 guns. Or just make the entire thing a fucking railgun. Like with some support turrets, but a railgun. Just a giant flying railgun. No fighter support. No, like any gimmicks. It's just guns and armor.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Yeah, you can discuss leaks.
Ferocity just resubscribed for 6 months. Ooh.
Thank you so much, Ferocity, for that 6 months of support. You're a very important public, very precipice of any pedestrian. This is your fault. You're 100 nights. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Hey! How you doing, Major? Hornet Mark II Civilian. I think that's going to happen at some point, just not right now. There's leaks of another gold black ticket for the F7C Mark II. Thoughts? Yeah. Probably not this year, but definitely next year. It really depends. They might do it again because they made fuck you amounts of money, and that is one of those things that I think a lot of people are more interested in the Hornet Mark II than they would be in the F8. So slated for Luminalia, I can see it. It seems a little early for them. That seems like they're double dipping too much in the same pond, but we'll see. So it's an artillery ship. Yeah, you would see it as like a kind of like how the Polaris is a torpedo ship, like a torpedo boat or a submarine, but it's going to have to get kind of close. You know, I'd imagine this theoretical Anvil capital ship would stay back and just fucking lob shots at larger targets and be much smaller to crew, like, you know, 7 people to crew it. Do you think it'll rail in before the end of the year? No, I don't think so. I think we'll get it Alien Week next year, but maybe. Ten ship with capital killers, cannon turret. 10 cruise ship, yeah. Not necessarily like a capital cannon, the killer cannon, but it's like the Idris can fight a capital, but it's not. You're not taking out You're not taking out a Jav in you know, one hit with that thing. Maybe a couple. It'll take a couple to strike at it. But something like that, that kind of railgun would be able to duel with an Idris or, you know. Because the idea being you'd want something that is, low crew capacity, because players, that like 8 to 10 seems to be the sweet spot. Anything above that becomes kind of weird. Difficult to make fun and crew for. And it also seems to be the sweet spot for lore, because the problem that the UE has is they have a manpower shortage. They have most of their manpower is focused on the Vanduul front, and anything they need to patrol the interior of the UEE has to be small crew. And Idris is 100 people, so full combat load Idris is 100 people for maybe three fighters. Like, yeah, and Idris is a beast of a ship in most circumstances, but that's a lot of people. That, like, 100 people requires water, oxygen, food, medical supplies, beds, like energy, and that whole ship needs maintenance and repairs. So if you could take those 100 people and stretch them out over 7 different ships, you suddenly have a much higher force multiplier with more with the same amount of people, so you're covering more area. So Zarek, where did was that slated for Luminalia? Is that just like an internal, is that a rumor that has been mined from an unknown source, or is that a leak from a from the code? Pipeline leak from the code. Okay. If it's from the data mine, I trust it more than their rumor stuff, because a lot of rumors are not verifiable. And you always got to take those with grains of salt, because things change and a lot of other stuff like that. Remember, this is the same source that said that they had no idea where server meshing was, and that Squadron 42 was in trouble. It looked good, but they didn't think it was fun. It's like a lot of that seems to have been opinion, and that's the problem when you're taking sources for their word. Even if that person is Chris Roberts himself, they don't have the full picture of everything that's going on. So it's always important to take those sources as they are, because you never know what they are.
You can take away my space suit. Take away my space.
It was surrounded by Luminalia code. Okay, that's a good guess.
Ever take away my space game.
A terrible bishop just resubscribed for 6 months. Hey chat. For anyone new here, be sure to ask Paul about the lore of his 2 favorite ships, the Ares and the Deemer.
The Ares? I don't really care about the Ares. Ares is fine. Ares has got are you talking about the fact that, like, I hate the Ares? I don't hate the Ares for existing. I just hate that it's a Crusader ship. There's not really a lot of lore behind the Ares. But thank you, Terrible Bishop, for that 6 months of support. You're very important, pupper, very impressive, pisser, very pedestrian. And I'd love to know about the lore for the Deemer, if I had any. We must always consider the source. Jean-Luc Picard, Captain and Chef. Well, it's like a lot of things. Like, this is just some 101 stuff in case you're ever dealing with this kind of thing, or if you're wondering about leaks and in any circumstances. If you've got a source that is unverifiable, that only one person knows of, it could be anyone. They could be lies. Even if you don't have any idea what's going on. And even if they're verifiable, even if they're 100% true, who leaks information? If you're happy, you tend to not leak information. So it's people who are upset. So anything that's bad is going to be amplified much more by someone who's upset than somebody who is as happy with whatever was going on in the project. This isn't Star Citizen based. This is just life in general. This is what happens. People leak when they are scared, upset, or mad. That's it. Generally not. What leaks have happened? We're talking about like, so the leak that predicted the Zeus Mark II, and it also had a bunch of other sources like Squadron 42 is, they said it was like 40% done, but it looks fancy, but it's not fun. They don't know if it's fun or not. It looks good, but I don't know if it's fun or not. They leaked the internal email of Aaron Roberts, which had misspellings and specifically referenced Starfield, which was weird. There's a lot of stuff in there. A lot of people being like, we have no idea what's going on with server meshing. No one knows anything about server meshing. It's like that sort of stuff goes on, and then, you know, CIG does CitizenCon, where they walk out and say this has been around for 3 weeks. So it's like, leaks or onions? Of course, onions. I'm not a big fan of leaks. They seem more flavorless than onions. The Zeus doesn't keep enough of the original design flow to make me feel like it's a Zeus. Yeah, basically Crusader went from being, we make ships for humanitarian purposes, to lol, bomb go boom. Like, it's a hell of a change from, we make heavy lift vehicles and transports that helps people get to people where they're going and help supply military, but also humanitarian aid wherever we need to go, to this ship has a giant fucking gun on it. We built a flying gun. Like, okay. That's what I mean. Like, the Ares is so weird. Like, the Ares would have made more sense, basically a space A-10, if it was built by Kruger. Kruger already makes the guns for it. They've already made ships. They needed more ships to make. Bingo, bango, bongo. You got yourself a fucking gun, like an A-10. And fuck it. Make it the gun Kruger and make the ship RSI. It would have been great. It would have been fine. You wouldn't have to change much of the design anyways, because of how many fucking Doritos there are in RSI. But but they already had an A2 when the Ares was announced. The Ares is an aftermarket upgrade of a cargo ship. It's similar to, like, the C-130 wasn't built for combat, but it didn't stop the Air Force from sticking several large caliber weapons on the sides of that thing and turning it into a gunship. That's what the A2 is. The A2 is the C-130. They just added bombs to make it a little bit more flair. The guns on the Ares are bearing. Yes, they are. But the ship itself is Aegis, or is Crusader. Aegis. See what I did there? And it just doesn't fit their style. Like, it's the only dedicated, purpose-built combat ship they built until the A1, but, you know. It's just, it would be like, I'm trying to think of a good example of this. It would be like Amnesty International building a fighter jet. Or like the American Red Cross building a tank. It's because Crusader is not just like humanitarian, focused on humanitarian support. Most of their money goes to, and most of their profits go to charities. They're a huge charity foundation. The whole concept of the founding of the company was to change the world through like by making ships that they earn money to do it. For those in America, Goodwill. Crusader is Goodwill, but with ships instead of secondhand stuff. So it'd be like if Goodwill was like, let's make a battleship. Like, what? And on top of that, they're like the original company that they were purchased from, Seraphim Systems, was incredibly Christian, very religious, and like pacifistic in terms of like Christian ideals. And then, like now you turn the corner and suddenly they built an A-10. Like, a Red Cross building a tank sounds based out of context. It's just confusing. And it seemed it's a situation where the ship team wanted to do something Crusader. They saw this idea, they liked it, they said this is cool, and they went with it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense in the context of the universe. I think you could have done something very similar with Kruger or Kruger and RSI, and it would have been fine. People love Kruger. Kruger fans are like Argo fans. They don't talk a lot, but when they come out, they won't shut the fuck up about themselves. Dunlow was incredibly charitable. Was a rebel. Was trying to overthrow like the Mezzers. Like personally had his parents killed by Mezzer actions. I mean, that is the reason why I talked about the Ares in that video about Crusader, about them. It's like, it's my theory that's why it was built. It was built specifically because they needed something to deal with the problems, and Baring was like, we need help, and they just did it. But that's how you can rectify it in lore, but the actual reality was ship team go burn. Like, and I feel very conscientious about saying that because I know one of the producers of the ship team watches this. Hi. But like, I don't mean this as like an evil, like horrible thing. It's just like the ship team builds cool ships because that's what they do. They're fucking artists. Like, artists want to fucking art. And yeah, you give them some limitations, but you give them options and let them art. It's just, and there's that struggle between narrative and cool. And I sometimes feel like sometimes narrative needs to win that fucking fight. Sometimes you need to just like restrict yourself a little bit more and work within the boundaries.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Starlight Fox 84 just resubscribed for 16 months. Hey Paul, hope I recovered from the 24-hour stream.
I have. Thank you so much for that 16 months of support. You're a very important pupper. Very impressive, Mr. Very new pedestrian. This is your fault. The reason we're drinking tonight. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. My nose is a little because it's been raining all day. So allergies. So my allergy medication's wearing off, so. I know they build armored cargo ships meant to deliver through rough space. It's not out of pocket. To also build ships to defend your big, beautiful, perfect Hercules chonkers. But then they should have built a escort fighter, not an A-10. That's the other thing. It's like the A-10, like the Inferno is designed to attack ground targets. It's like you deliver humanitarian aid. You built something to strafe large, like indiscriminately strafe large areas of land. It's like anything in this like mile-long section of land that I don't want to exist will cease to exist after a while. They needed to go more Vanguard than whatever the Ares is, yeah. And that's the point. It's like trying to justify in lore, you can do it, but it doesn't make a lot of sense because the reality is that it was about cool Crusader ships and not more than it was about anything else, so. We've already gone over this. Crusader at the time had only built the, in terms of lore, they'd only built the A2, and the A2 is akin to the C-130 being turned into the AC-130. The A2, it even has the same kind of monitor with the A's. It's a converted cargo hauler rather than being a dedicated bomber. Did you see the farming commercial, Paul? Sometimes farmers need an A10. We'll strafe a large Corsair coming for your cargo. Also, the name Crusader is not a word used for peaceful purposes. It was actually a compromise in lore because they wanted to name it something with some religious overtones because he did not want I call him August. I'm still call him August. I'll just call him Augie. Augie didn't want to keep the name Seraphim because it was too religious. So he compromised on Crusader because it sounded tough. It sounded like you're like you're going out, right? It's you're going forth. It has other connotations, obviously. But it was mostly kind of a compromise with the very religious owners of Seraphim systems. So, yeah. What's the over-under on Jax McCreary segment of the IAE this year? I think Jax will show up at the very end, and we might get someone completely different for Whitley's Guide. I'd love for them to do a parody of American, the American Top Gear, where you just get 3 random blokes to come in and do it and keep fucking it up, but you know. Oh man, Stanley Whitley's Guide. Wouldn't Jax be one with day one? Wouldn't Jax be day one with the Sulian? Maybe. We'll have to see what's going on with the whole thing. Jax is dead to me after wrecking the Odyssey, but then he came back alive for scamming a bunch of scamming a bunch of Drake-loving pirates. Ouch, ouch. Love how your stream looks better on YouTube. YouTube has higher compression, so like I'm putting the same amount out to both streams. My bitrate on Twitch is about 6 km or 6 kbps, and on YouTube it is healthy. They don't tell me. I can't see it in my there's no issues is what it is. But it should be the same bitrate. But YouTube has an uncapped sort of bitrate. So it actually looks better on YouTube. The only problem with YouTube is that YouTube's interaction system sucks. Like they're like, you can navigate Twitch a lot easier than you can navigate YouTube. I think YTP makes a difference. Had them side by side, and YouTube looks better. YouTube looks better, just in general. Yeah. YouTube, despite Google's greed and want, just isn't made for live streaming. No, they could improve it. it has some better options. They just need to have a better interface. They just don't know how to do that. I do plan on doing a religion in Star Citizen. But I'm going to do it. So a lot of those kind of esoteric ideas, and I know it sounds weird to say that religion is esoteric, but get real close, chat. So close right now. Okay. Nobody plays Star Citizen to think about religion. I mean, I would 100% do an entire gigantic ass lore video on the history behind all of the food manufacturers in Star Citizen. I would fucking love that. But no one gives a shit about that. And by the no one, I mean like there are 4,000 of you. At most, 4,000 of you, which is a lot of people, but sadly not really at the point of growing the channel much. Someone's seen Jordan Hallett. I love Jordan Hallett. Gets so close right now. So no, I'm not gonna do a religion in Star Citizen. There's a lot of religions in lore. There's the Church of the Traveler, and then there's the religions, the Banu religions, the Xi'an religions. There's the Vandul religion, the Tavaran Rijora. There is the that's it. Yeah, like all of the major species have one religion at the very least. Lamp is fan made, but yeah, you could do Lamp. The Banu are opportunistic. The Banu's kind of mentality is, you know, the guy in The Mummy who has like all of those religious charms and ends up becoming the aide to the mummy. I can't remember the name of the mummy. Because he's just like, fuck it. Benny. Yeah. Benny. Yeah, the Banu are just Benny. They're just all Benny. They'll pray to anybody who's listening because what's the harm? They have their own religions, the goddess of luck and the goddess of trade, but because he spoke Hebrew, yeah. Imhotep. Yeah. Banu are a little bit more naive. They're mercantile without capitalism. Like the bottom line of Banu society is not profits. Profits aren't really the big goal in Banu society. Success is the big goal of Banu society. Growth, expansion, continuing to like that's their goals. Like they seek expertise in everything they do. They see like they're the kind of people who would get beaten by somebody who's better than them and just straight up be like, God damn, I ain't even mad. That's good to teach me how to do that. Yeah, they're in it for the love of the game. Like they would be absolutely amazing capitalists because or at least work for capitalists because they don't care about profits. They just like to make a lot of stuff happen. Hey man, it's all good. Just buy some stuff, man. Yeah. I guess I'm watching The Mummy night. There's never a wrong night to watch The Mummy. That is such a fucking good movie. Excuse me, did you call my Sully naive? Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Major. They even traded with the Vandul, right? Some of them, they do trade with some tribes of the Vandul, that's for sure. Oh yeah, the Ferengi would exploit the shit out of the Vandul. Mummy's not even Hawaiian Pan. I'm not even mad. That's the joke in the queer community is that the Mummy is the movie for all pan and bisexual people, millennials. It's like, oh, that awoke things in me. This whole movie awoke things in me. The movie has awoken all of them. Yeah, Rachel Weisz, Brendan Fraser, and then the actor who played Imhotep, and the actor who played the Guardian. Like, damn, goddamn. It's like this should be illegal to have this much sexy in a movie. Later, Eric. Enjoy watching that. I do report back on what they say about it. Oded Fair. The actor who played Imhotep, he looks an awful lot like someone I've seen doing it, like maybe an Egyptologist. I don't know if he might be. Let me look him up. Billy Zane. Okay. That's Billy Zane? No, it's Arnold Vossolo. He's South African. Okay. He's an Afrikaner. There's someone who looks very similar to him. That was that did a lot of Egyptology documentaries. I couldn't remember the name of him. It looks very similar. I think it's because I get that whole bald blindness. You get an average. You get some kind of like features. and you're bald, suddenly my brain goes, this is all the same person. Oh, we're having some drop issues. We should come right back, though. Will Vandal be a threat in the PU that we can meet? Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. I think CIG is just kind of holding back the Vandal a little bit until they get, they'll get Squadron out, though. Inglorious BU, you don't meet Vandal. Vandal meets you. I don't think you'll ever be able to play the Vandal. You might be able to play, almost certainly you'll be able to play the Tavarin, the Banu, and the Shan, but not else. Banu's religion is violence. They worship knives. Do we have Tavarin concept art yet? We have old Tavarin concept art. So I'll pull up the Tavarin. Okay, so the best Tavarin concept art is this. No, that's real. That's fan art.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
I am Caffeine Fiend, just resubscribed for 5 months. Ooh.
Thanks so much.
3 months with the pub. Short and cheers, Paul.
For that 5 months.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away
with
my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Underscore Simon says has subscribed.
Thank you so much for that subscription there. AR Simon says you're a very important pop, very impressive of any pedestrian. This probably
You can take away my spaceship.
Well, I'm pulling up the
You can take away my space suit.
original.
You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
G Sharp just resubscribed for 56 months.
Thank you so much, G Sharp, for that 56 months. You are very important, pop, very impressive, Mr. Very good pedestrian. You rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. All right, here we go. So this is the original artist. We did the Tavarin designs. These are all... Kelton Cram is a freelance concept artist who also worked on a lot of the marine armor. For some reason this is reversed a little bit, but you can see this is Tavaran in traditional Tavaran armor. You can kind of see some of that. This is the most updated version of them we've seen. You can kind of see why they're called, like, we call them the bird people. They don't really have wings, but they do have those kind of bird-like claws, like talons, and they kind of have bird-like faces a little bit. It's more in their head design. Took a while for it to pull up. You can see here with the crests and the feathers and stuff like that. General Grievous wants the style back. Question: if they allow us to play alien races, would they have to modify ships to suit the alien anatomies? They would, which is the reason why I think the Tavaran are most likely going to be the first playable alien species, because the Tavaran, while alien, are in the UEE. And just about any equipment designed in the UEE has to also be able to function with Tavaran anatomy. So Tavaran are going to be close enough to human sized and scaled that they wouldn't have to worry about it too much. So... this was the original concept that they had. They were originally like this. They've kind of evolved since then. But we do not. They also did he also did the redesign of the Van Duel and stuff like that. So I'm gonna find the actual size. So there's a good size comparison. So this is a Van Duel. They're almost 8 feet tall. Tavaran are 6 feet tall, which is the same size as humans, so they would be about the same. The Banu are about 7 feet tall, and the Shan are a little bit smaller at about 5 foot tall. So you can see this is the average sizes. So size does matter when you have to pilot ships and when you have to do animations and all these other kind of crazy stuff. So. You get the general idea, the general gist of the sizes that that we're looking at in terms of like height. And remember, this thing is going to charge at you with a spear, and your bullets are going to bounce off of it most of the time. That's the situation you're playing with Squadron 42. Enjoy that. Aren't some of the hand weapons already made with both in mind? Generally speaking, because of the way that the Tavaran anatomy works, it's close enough to the human anatomy that almost everything should be able to function in terms of the weaponry. Maybe the armor might be a little different, but the size and height should be fine. You're not going to have any heights. They were playing around with the idea of doing different heights, but I imagine that what happened was it just wasn't worth the additional effort it would take to try to size people properly. Because the other problem would be everyone would be tiny. If you had height sliders, everyone would be midgets. And I don't mean that as like little people. I mean like as in like leprechauns. That's probably the best way to put it. You'd be leprechauns because everyone would be very, very small because they want to have the smallest hitbox possible. You create meta issues. Yeah, I mean, you could see that for like roleplay purposes, having like your different character sliders and that sort of thing, but it doesn't really work. Star Citizen isn't really a role-playing game. I mean, it is, but not in the traditional sense like that. So, yeah, equipment scale would look weird and that kind of stuff too. I understand technical issues behind it, but it's a little disappointed. It's there's a lot more than technical. So, do seats and ships not slide? Not all of them. Some of them are built into the actual structure. Star Citizen is more of a GTA RP role-playing game than a D&D character RP game. Yeah, it's much more along the lines of a open open world game. It's more similar to The Witcher than it is to the to Baldur's Gate, or again, you know, Mass Effect. Yeah, it happens in Ark, in an Atlas. It happened all the time where people just go minimum height. At least the Vandal are too big to steal our ships. Vandal rips cockpit off, jams spear in the joystick to steer while riding on top, sitting on top. Yeah, yeah. And so I saw someone else say, remember, the armored ones are the least of your problems. Yeah, if they got armor, they're new. They're least experienced. The ones without armor, they've seen shit. Oh, I'm definitely picking up Rogue Trader because I found out that I have co-op mode, and so I already reached out to Loken, was like, Rogue Trader co-op, and he was like, yes. It's like, yes. I'm going to be doing so many heretical things. The ones without armor have done things. Terrible things. Or terrible, terrible things. So. Yeah. So, I get the idea behind the whole, like, the height slider and stuff like that. I wish they would just give the male model some more junk in their trunk because they look pathetic. All right. No, I don't think we'll get a weight slider. I think they're going to keep the same kind of default character model kind of appearance, just for simplicity's sake. And we'll have different modifiers for mostly our face and such. Hey, Paul, I found a new artifacts on Bloom on Pyro the other night. You're going to have goodies to hunt there for sure. So do new, like, types of artifacts? Like, different, like, relics and stuff like that? Stuff like historical artifacts? I haven't seen any of them, so I don't know what they are. I'm guessing they're all pyrotechnic amalgamated gear. Because that's ancient. It's 400 years old. How many chunks of concrete did you collect? Tree sands in chat. You'll give him PTSD. They look like pieces of something. Small copper nugget-looking things. All right, I mean, other than the ISC, there's really not much other news. I guess we can go over some of the patch notes real quick, just so you can get the general idea of what's going on. Pull this up. So 3.21.1 is out. So there's a couple of known issues. Most of them are pretty small. AC, Vandal Swarm, Broken Moon, no hostile AI spawn. That's a pretty big problem, but I mean, they might release that anyways. Tractor Beam, Max Lift Tractor Beam cannot be equipped. That's a problem. Kiosk shops don't have any inventory, fixed in a later build. Fleischer, there's a chance you won't be able to mine or scan with Rock Tool. Okay, let's go. It's good to start. There's still a couple of things, but they're definitely getting there. We have Siege of Orison reactivation, FPS behavior AI integration, the Argo SRV, the C1 Spirit Tractor Beam, T2 Vehicle Tractor Beam, Vehicle Headlight Refactor, New Player Experience, New Babbage, Mission Defend Data Heist, and System Security Data Trespass. So they rebalance the defend missions along with adding new AI activity and traits, balancing the rewards, turning on shields in a ship while being tractored will now break the ship free from tractor beams, slightly increasing reputation requirements for retrieval ops missions. No, you don't. Fuck you, CIG. Don't you dare fuck with the retrieval ops missions. It is our only fucking thing, and I don't know who the fuck we have to do missions for to get the retrieval ops missions, because I need to be able to jump into that. God, fuck. Okay. For those of you who don't know, that's the League's main mission that we do in order to do artifacts. So. Yeah, they've been debugged to hell and back. Increase the speed and torque of these Steve. All right. So they got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Yeah. They were running the expo halls and Jumptown. Oh, nice. Guess they're going to be doing Jumptown for, well, that's tradition. Holiday Jumptown. Oh, we're going down again. And we're back. So. Do I like 3.21.1? It's okay. Tractor beams is huge. It's a huge addition. The hand tractor beam's big. Apparently they did a refactor for the vehicle headlights. They also started adding in the FPS behavior from Squadron 42. And Nick experienced them destroying him like a little baby man. They picked him up and they threw him down on the ground and they circle beat him to death because he looked at them wrong. But I don't know if they if it's been better because, like, you know, servers suck. So, like, that's the problem of AI. It's never been the issue of the AI being bad. It's that the servers suck. So, like, their reactions are super slow. Oh, you saw that video? I'm gonna watch it again just because I want everyone to see, and also you should all watch this video to give Nick some more views. But okay, this was from 8 days ago. Enjoy it, chat.
Right, so I forgot to hit record, but we're starting Squadron 42 AI. Evacod EPTU. Squadron 42 AI are here. Freaking ready. I honestly don't know what to expect with the new Squadron 42 AI on the EP2 at the moment. Probably not that. That is not what I expected. That they were just in the elevator. I'm sure everything else. Oh, hello.
This is not circle beating to death. This is brain dead.
Oh, this is going terribly wrong.
That's your first video on it?
Stay there.
It was the other one. Was it this one? 5 days ago. This is the one.
Hey, it's Nick, and I have a special. And as soon as I was recording, it crashed. All right. Hey, it's Nick, and as you can see, we have a special situation with Star Citizen. As you can see in the top right, our server FPS is at a locked 30 FPS. Now, for some reason, we've gotten into the same server last night, and there is only one other person in this server. So there's only two people on this server, keeping the server FPS extremely high. So this will actually be a really good opportunity to go and see the new bunker AI that is coming in with the new EP2 patch. So we'll just go fly down there and see what's up. And just like that, nice smooth touchdown landing. He's super easy to do with the coupled mode. Well, this is a consignment mission, and we have an interesting loadout for our armors. Our armors, we are currently having a full loadout specifically from the Kelto RX from New Babbage. So everything here, you see here, tractor beam included, med pens, all this.
This is Nick.
Is all available at the Kelto RX.
Not the
see
ideal
how the loadout that you can get from there handles. I'm just getting back out there. I think it'll be pretty interesting. So I'm gonna hide the. I'll keep the info up, just to keep it visible. So let's get in here and see how things go. How is the 30 FPS Squadron 42 AI going to do?
So this is ideal conditions, but this is what the AI is going to do to you once the server isn't shit. Hold on, I'm gonna turn on the AI.
This is gonna be a consignment mission, so they're gonna constantly be spawning.
Oh, it's too loud.
When we see them, things are really feeling smooth too. Oh, looks like we got a guy stuck in an elevator there. Another group of people stuck in an elevator there. Oh, he sees me. He brought out his gun. Oh, he started to shoot me too. Okay, interesting. You can see like the startled alert, be like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
and
once
then
they figure out
he
you're
turned and shot at me. That's good. You can actually see
Nick is already hurt.
He shot at me immediately. That was okay. That was cool. That was cool. That was different. I'm actually gonna start pooping my pants soon.
Notice how all of the AI that are defending are dead.
Okay, med pen it up. Oh, we got.
Who's already tier 2 injury and tier 3.
We got a tier 2 and a chest injury and a tier 3 arm injury. Interesting. Oh shit, where did you come from? I didn't. What the fuck? Oh my god.
They fucking flanked him.
Fuck. Okay, we now have a tier 1
His chest is
injury.
ruined.
Oh my. They're shooting up there too. Holy shit. Okay, this is absolutely insane. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. Oh my god. They're shooting immediately. Oh my god, I gotta reload. Get my gun out. I saw it's my gun. Pistol. Fucking.
Oh, he's dead.
He wasn't even assaulting
He's
my
dead.
pistol. So that's fucked. Kind of just streamed and spammed and ganged up on me. That is.
This is consignment bunker.
Extremely scary.
Yeah, Nick's in chat, so I just want to do this. This is why we need reload animation canceling. Yeah. If you rewind, he was ahead of Nick, and he turned into his flank to flank him. Yeah. So yeah, that shows you what they're doing. And you also notice the ramp up. So initially they didn't know he was there, so they didn't do anything. The second they knew he was there is when they started pushing. And as they started pushing, they began to attract more and more NPCs. That's how the NPCs, the AI is designed. They have a normal awareness and alert level. If they're at low alert and they don't see anybody, you can sneak by them, which allow for things like stealth. But the second you start make your presence known, it'll slowly build the number of AI that are going to know you're there and call more of them to you. So you get more and more and more. And so it starts to build and build and build. And then you start getting crazy amounts of numbers pushing you, attacking you at the same time. That's how it's supposed to work. The AI stuck in an elevator was a bug they fixed in the last patch. Okay. Yeah, Nick did pretty well. Nick is an FPS player, so he was using not optimal gear and equipment, and managed to do pretty well considering the garbage loadout they had.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
The collective is informed of your presence.
But
Resistance is futile, yeah.
Ever take away my space game.
Redbeard Live has subscribed.
Thank you so much, Redbeard, for that subscription. You were very important, or Breadbeard. You're very important, Papa. Very impressive, Mr. Any pedestrian. This is your fault. You return to good night. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Why we need those NPCs on people's calm Star Citizen? Is this PvP only? Game only? No. Because once that was playing, I couldn't knife or switch weapons until it was finished. Yeah. And you were already screwed up. Like you got to tier 1 injury very quickly. Like that shows you how quickly it is to get hurt in the game. That'll improve a little bit, but like that was the first time I've seen a tier 1 injury actually happen. I've never seen an tier 1 injury before in game. I began to think they were a myth. Well, being shot cannot be cured by injection. Yeah, but usually when you get shot, you die. Like, that's a lot more lasting. Like, that makes you feel a lot more serious, too. Might be a question for the info runners, but do you know what the front end of the Endeavor is on its own? I thought it was more like an 18-wheeler sort of situation, just pulling a trailer. Think of the front end of the Endeavor as like a Odyssey minus the hangar. That's what it is. It's like a cargo slash like there's living space there. It's just like the crew quarters. You and Cutlet and a couple of other guys did a consignment mission at 20 FPS, and 15 minutes later, we all had tier 1 something. Yeah. Hey, TFX. How you doing? I saw Kronsi get tier 1 do siege the other day. It's happening. Yeah. He wasn't wearing heavy armor, though. That's true. But generally speaking, you know, heavy armor meta is going to start to change because it's going to start to cause physical problems, too. Hey, Paul, can I ask why the Gladiator vid is unlisted? Is that out of date now? The Gladiator vid is is unlisted? Shouldn't be. The most recent one? No, the most recent one should be listed. I probably gave you the wrong link. So there's 2 Gladiator videos. The unlisted video is actually the Patreon's video. That's the video that I made, I uploaded and unlisted for the Patreons. I didn't put it into anything or anything like that. That was designed specifically because it didn't have any ads. This was before Patreon lets you upload videos to their site. So that's the reason why it's like that. And I think I linked in one of the videos I linked the Gladiator video. I think it was the unlisted one. Welcome, everyone. Welcome from Logan Plays Stream. My name is Paul Berserker01 Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Welcome to Office Hours. How you doing there, Logan, buddy? We're just talking about doing Rogue Trader co-op. I was like, yes. I explained there will be much heresy on my hand. No problem, interpreters. Yeah, I just listed the wrong one. Same video. That the unlisted one. You feel free to share the unlisted one too.
You can take away my spaceship.
It's just not monetized. So.
You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
There'll be much bolt gunning of online.
Pobi 2447 has subscribed.
UB, thank you so much for that subscription. You're a very important pub, a very impressive pisser, very pedestrian. This is your fault. The reason I'm drinking tonight. Shots and cheers, y'all. Shots and cheers. Thank you. In fact, since Loken is here, I will pull out my pride and joy. Because this is something I've been working on very hard on, and I now have a good idea. And now, after I figured out how to do this, I'm buying what is it called? An airbrush to do airbrush minis this winter, but. Ugh. To learn how to do this, about a week. I can get one of these boys done in about 2 days with edge highlighting and everything else like that. So, but a lot of this was also, what chapter is this? So it's a custom chapter of mine. It's going to be, I haven't gotten the full name of it yet, but it's going to be, I was thinking about maybe making it a Space Wolves successor chapter, maybe a Raven, like a Raven's Blood or Raven Guard successor chapter. But then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Just make it an Ultramarine successor chapter. Because they're kind of more about like the flexibility. They're focused mostly on melee combat, but they're about like flexibility between melee and ranged. So, you know, their focus is like melee, but like I'm gonna sneak up on you and stab you in the back, kind of thing. Sneaky melee. So, librarian lords, like lords. There we go. But they've got a lot of like Norse kind of things, but mostly focused on like the ravens of Odin. So, but yeah, I like put this up there. So now, after I've learned how to do edge highlighting, which was a pain in the ass, now I'm going to be doing airbrushing, because it's so much faster. But it also looks cool. So. Iron Hand successor, go home. Hugin and Mugen. Yeah, that was the original inspiration. Was the two ravens of Odin. I have some 3D printed bits on this, and it's not been primed, but like, kind of see the beak. Little cape. So. My question is, how do you find the free time on top of all the other shit you do? When I can't sleep, I paint. That's what I do. The Lore Lords chapter of the Ultramarines. Am I looking forward to Homeworld 3? I kind of am. I'm not much of a RTS fan, but you know. What's my favorite 40K themed PC game? So I'm gonna go nostalgic and say Dawn of War. Specifically the Winter Assault expansion, but it's because that's what got me in love with the Imperial Guard campaign is fantastic for that one. But Dawn of War is the thing. Like I was a 40K fan before Dawn of War. I've been a 40K fan since 2nd edition. What was whatever edition was first came out in the US? I think it was 3rd edition. Let me show you my old one. What's your favorite FPS and why is it Fire Warrior? I mean, Dark Tide is obviously the best FPS they've done. These are the only things that survived of my middle school Warhammer collection. It's so badly painted. Yeah. Yeah, the big thing that we got, it was me and my cousin who collected them together, was we got a Land Raider. That shit was cool. Hey, Axis. Welcome, buddy. How's the leg doing, Axis? I know you had to go get checked up. Hopefully everything's good. Oh, no. I mean, this is what I did when I was, like, 13. you know? So this is the reason why, when Loken, when you were like, "Oh, you're a Dark Angels fan," it's like I was a Dark Angels when I was 13. So when The Lion came out, I'm like, I have to start collecting some Dark Angels. I had to come out with some Dark Angels. That was the shit we used to talk about. Was like that the lion was secretly sleeping in the rock. I remember that when I was like 12, 13 years old. I love that shit. So. Dark, terrible things. Yeah, they're Space Marines. These are all original metal, like, I don't flick it because it gets paint knocked off, but original metal, metal minis. So, do I have any news about the replication layer? Nothing yet. It's supposed to come out in 3.21. My guess is that we'll get probably after the, after the Pyro preview, which ends tomorrow, we'll get some more. So that badly painted, they're weathered. Judging by last night, we know you're not good at RTS games. I am not good at RTS games. QPen, I have said that from the beginning. I am terrible at RTS games, but I love playing them. But I'm not good at them. Breadbeard, thank you so much again. I don't know if you already answered this question, but is there any more info you could come after Nick's? You said in your video about the possible Nyx systems. So the video, the stuff that's coming after Nyx is completely up in the air. Logically, my thought is Odin, obviously, because it's the main place for Squadron 42. And my thought after Odin was likely Castra. Because of Castra being both connected to Pyro and Nyx. And then Magnus, maybe. But I think Terra is obviously on the cards, but Terra is, like, I think a beta thing. So. But I also heard some rumors. I also heard some rumors about that like the next systems they're planning on dropping afterwards, like rumors from a source that I trust. I'm not going to repeat those because they may put them on blast, and I don't want to do that. That they basically said, yeah, it's a bunch of these systems. I'm like, none of these systems are connected to one another. They're completely off in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they make no sense. We haven't seen a single like preview about them, so it's weird. What about 4X games? I love 4X games, but I'm terrible at them. Okay, thanks. Thought some dev may have leaked stuff on the screen again. Not that I know of. It may have been, so. Vega, I'm not going to say exactly what I saw. Or no, I saw what I didn't see anything. What I heard, but yeah. How's the Doctors Without Borders things going? $10,002.69. I can tell you the one that surprised me was it's not Lear. Lear wasn't mentioned. I was like, that's fucking weird. For all of the shit, the places that are in the middle of nowhere, you would think they'd have brought us the system with the sandworm in it. So, yeah, nice indeed. I haven't done a giveaway for the Galaxy yet. I know you're asking about it. I'm planning on doing that giveaway at a captain's table, not this coming one, but for the one after IE, at the end of IAE. So I'll let you know. Oh, this guy doesn't have a backpack. I realize he doesn't have a backpack. That would be my guess because it has CDF headquarters. My only guess is that the ones that I heard, the places that I heard, they may be locations in Squadron 42. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, and I don't know because like they, from what I do, they weren't really there, but like, like from what I heard, those systems weren't in Squadron from the leaks I had accidentally, intentionally inflicted upon myself. So, but yeah. RSI on the last day of IE just to keep the giveaway waiting. Yeah. All right, it is on the last day, so I'll have to. I might have to be after IAE because I'm doing on that Saturday stuff. So yeah, we'll see. Figure it out. I was assuming systems in Squadron 42 would be plugged in the PU after release. It really depends because the Squadron 42 takes place 10 years before the actions of Star Citizen, so they'd probably have to add a lot of factions and other aspects which you wouldn't see. Like, as far as we know, we don't know how much of Odin is actually in Squadron 42. So it may be that they don't have all of the locations modeled properly that they could easily plug into Squadron 42 or into Star Citizen. And even if they could, it would still be 6 to 9 months afterwards. So. What's the closest Vanduul system to Vega? Virgil. And you know what what system's connected to Virgil? Odin. No, wait. Nyx. Nyx. I think Odin might be too. And you know what's connected to Odin? Nyx. You know what Nyx is connected to? Pyro. You know what Pyro is connected to? Stanton. Yeah, I'll have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure Nyx is connected to Virgil. It's either Nyx or Odin is. Nyx's jump points are Virgil, Pyro, Odin, Bremen, Castra, and Towhill. Yeah, it is a long jump. You want to here? I'll show you the jump map. This is on the tools wiki. That's Virgil. That's Nyx. So it's just like literally like wee whoop. Are jump points going to consume quantum fuel? Yes. Jump points use quantum fuel. For comparison, how long is the line from Stanton to Pyro? Pyro. Do they have the jump points on this Pyro thing as well? I don't know if they have the jump point map on Stanton and Pyro. They don't. It's not that far. Jump gates travel looks like wormholes in Farscape. Because, what's this map? It doesn't look like the official one. It's a clip of the official one. I want to show you. Let me show you. Since everyone's deciding that Paul doesn't tell the truth today. Since Paul just makes up lies and doesn't cite his sources. Let me cite the sources. Can I meet the profits of the jump points? And the jump points? Yes. Yes, I make everything up. Do you cite yourself as a source? I don't know, maybe. So here's the map. And if you want the jump tunnels, boop, 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 that's what they look like. So, if we go to Stanton to Pyro looks like this. So it's pretty far, not too far. And then Nyx looks like this. We do the 2D version. You see all the little jump points, and then whoop, all the way to Virgil, which connected to Tiber, Oberon, and Vega. Vega goes from Vega to Bremen, Bremen to Nyx, and Bremen also goes to Callus, though Callus only has one jump point, it looks like, which goes to Oso, which goes to Pyro and Castra, and of course Kano, and over here is Stanton. Terra is well over here too. To get to Seoul, you go to Stanton. Let's see if I can increase the. I don't think I can increase it. I can zoom in though. Stanton is here. You go Stanton, Magnus, Ellis, Killian, Davian, and then Seoul right here. To give you a concept, Null and Croshaw, there's only 2 jumps away from Seoul. Seoul is 2 jumps away from Caliban, from a red system, and 3 jumps away from Vega. To show you how close Seoul is to the Vanduul, like right on top of them. Practically already there. Virgil is the nearest Vanduul system to Pyro. This is all Xi'an space over here. Down here is Banu space. Banu. So Pyro is here, right? Pyro is connected to Nyx, which is connected to Virgil. So it's 2 jumps away. What system is Xi'an in? The Xi'an are over here in Rila, Kaifa. Horus is sort of there. Iaus, Virtus, which is Lao. And then Treese is a Banu system for some fucking reason. And then there's more Xi'an down here as well. Indra. And this is where Gliese is I think either Gliese or Bacchus is their home system too. Like where they think they're from. And Lear is way over here. To give you the perspective, Lear is over here, Stanton is over here. Like they're on the other sides of the fucking galaxy from one another. Is the Nyx to Virgil path large or medium? They don't fucking matter anymore. None of those things matter anymore, but I'll figure what it is. I think it's a medium. Yeah, it's a medium. What systems are Tavaran? There are no Tavaran systems proper, though the homeworld of the Tavaran is... Where are you? Elysium. Which is right next to Idris, and then the Cabal system is also there, which is the original one of the original systems. I'm not showing the map, but it's like they're like really close to each other. They're on the Vanduul side of things. Like there's a jump point from Elysium to Vanguard, which is a Vanduul system. So it's like right on the Vanduul border. There's the Branagh system. Branagh is the other one. Branagh is the system that has which is next to Kronos, which is where the synth world is. So. No idea what they're doing with jump points anymore. CIG with the Zeus announcement, they basically said, yeah, the jump points have entirely changed. Size of jump points is going to start to just, I think it's gone. I think the idea of a jump point size is completely thrown out the window. They don't exist anymore. I wouldn't put any stock in jump point sizes. They don't make sense in terms of a balancing mechanic anymore. It'll probably be like the way that Jail kind of pitches it, which I think I like the best, is like ski difficulties. How difficult they are to navigate, with the more difficult ones being the ones that you won't want to traverse in larger ships. Yeah, well, not necessarily stability, but like difficult to traverse. Like stability implies that they'll collapse. It's more like skill difficulty to navigate. What happened to the Zeus that led to that, or was it just something they said about the same time Zeus came out? It's in the Zeus Q&A. I love that Asmongold watched Squadron 42 and Star Citizen videos. It gives the beauty a lot of attention. Yeah, but our community creeps him the fuck out, which is, I guess, a good thing. Do you believe there will be other quantum-type anomalies besides wormholes or jump points? Maybe at some point. Have CIG ever said it happens if you fail to navigate jump point? Yeah, you explode. You jump out and die. Jump out and fall out of the jump points and you're stuck in interspace or whatever, so. Which I think is lame. I think it should be more you get spat out one side or the other of the jump point and you are severely damaged. Keep our awesome community pure. Not necessarily our awesome community pure. It's more that, like, he called this similar to, like, NFT fans, which is, yeah, that tracks. The amount of people who were like, did you know that Asmongold? Yes, everyone in the community knows that Asmongold, like, reacted to it. Do you think certain jump points could be accessible or become more stable with certain jump drives kinds? Maybe. I don't know how they'll do it, but I do like the idea of a skill-based system for jump points rather than the size, because it kind of fits in with Star Citizen's gameplay a little bit more and could easily be explained away as, like, some jump points are just fucking wild, yo. Like, you're gonna need to hold on to your fucking butts because you're gonna die unless you know what you're doing, which adds a little bit more skill to the game, right? Because it doesn't necessarily, like, arbitrarily force you from not being able to use the jump point because of a certain ship you're using, but how well you are at piloting said ship. So, do I think they'll make a medical version of the Zeus? Maybe. That way you could have a Dr. Zeus, Dr. Zeus, maybe. Okay. I always say I don't want to start shit with Grumpy because I think that anybody who is a content creator deserves the right to make content. Not everyone's going to be everyone's cup of tea. That's fine. Just don't watch them if you don't like it. I just find it hilarious the number of times that Grumpy has made a video saying he quit Star Citizen and then like within weeks comes back and makes another video on Star Citizen. Like, shit or get off the pot, dude. Like, at a certain point, it's just like no one believes you. I don't care what your opinion is with Grumpy. In fact, don't attack Grumpy here because that's just stupid. I'm not gonna say anything like, oh, Google, whatever. Fuck off. I don't give a shit. It's just at a certain point, it becomes like, really? Like, please. At a certain point, it just feels like it's attention grabbing. Don't worry about it, Jaded. Really don't. Like, it's okay to say, I'm taking a break. I'll come back when there's more content. Fucking fine. Great. FTR was never like that, though. FTR is still part of the community, if I remember. In the current lore, the UE fleet is staging in Vega, right? What system do you think will make sense for the UE to attack, or do you think we'll defend? I think it's mostly a defend, but Virgil's a solid idea for attack. Croshaw is one that they do a lot. Yeah, it's very fuck you and I'll see you tomorrow kind of thing. Tell me about the Farscape and wormholes. I'm dying here. Sorry. So, jump points are wormholes. So the fact that they look like wormholes, yeah, they're wormholes. They're Einstein-Rosen bridges. That's what they are. It's just instead of tunneling through space itself, they tunnel through a separate dimension called interspace. So instead of bending two halves of space together and poking a hole through it, it's you're digging a hole in through space into a different dimension, and then that dimension worms. It's smaller, so it worms its way closer to another location, pops out in the other end. So you're just digging through a different dimension. I don't know, but did they just see Farscape and say that's what we want to look like? Probably not. But I mean, Farscape is obviously a fantastic visual reference. So, oh, there's a Buc-ee's. I really do too. We need a Buc-ee's style mascot. So that space worm in trailer is not a sandworm. Yeah, it's hyperspace, interspace, the warp, subspace. What the fuck do they call it in Halo? There's a different word for it in Halo. Okay, slip space. It's just the in-between dimension. It's like instead of flying to China, you dig to China. Now, it's more like instead of flying to China, you open a door to another dimension, which is connected to our dimension, but is smaller. So think the Nether in Minecraft. And then you can open another door at another location that you want to go to, which is really far away, but it's shorter to travel through this dimension out on the other side. You're talking heresy, brother. Elite Dangerous is which space? Is it? Nice, that's awesome. Gigi Edsley called you a few weeks ago. It's a shortcut, yeah. Fun fact, it's also the same space that you're linked to with your regen clones. So, yeah. Every single time I look at the lore and kind of justifications for stuff in Star Citizen, the more I'm like, this is just the warp, isn't it? This is just 40K before at the beginning of the golden age of humanity. That's what this is, isn't it? That's what this fucking is. That's my personal headcanon theory. Well, okay, first off, humanity has built lots of artificial intelligences which successfully function, possibly close to general artificial intelligence. I think we actually built general artificial intelligence, but they kept killing us through accidents, not intentionally, but just through fucked ups. And we kept trying to use them and they kept failing until like the public was just like, we don't trust AI, period. They kill too many people. So we just stopped researching AI. There's a government ban on research for AI. So AI is evil in Star Citizen. Humanity is burgeoning empire. It's growing out, but it's still struggling to stay afloat. We found a way of traveling through this thing called interspace, which is a dimension that doesn't exist. That kind of a shortcut that lets you get through this. So you see what I'm saying? You see the connections? You have to jump between systems, and you have to travel through which place. I love that reference. Oh, nice. Okay, don't give me ideas. Regen is the same space as the warp. Oh, the warp and wormholes means you have a mini game to res, not Death of the Spaceman. I missed the answer to the other history events are happening in the world from 2945 to 2953. Okay, Caffeine Fiend. Can you describe to me everything that happened between 2015 or 2013 and 2023? Right now? In like 5 minutes? I'm not saying, tell me everything that happened in technology in that time period, in gaming in that time period. I'll wait. This isn't me like dunking on you or anything, Caffeine Fiend, but I'm telling you that's how difficult it is. The answer of like stuff is happening, yes, a lot. It's like probably an entirety of a complete history of Star Citizen lore. So like a 40-minute video is just going to be on the period between Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. That's what I mean though. Like there's a lot. Not evil, misunderstood. It's just, it's not evil. It's just every single time we turn it on, it tries to kill us. Accidentally. But still try to kill us. Fucking, the last time humanity fucked with AI in the Star Citizen universe, we put them in bombers, and they tried to bomb the Xi'an. I know you're talking about a Star Citizen lore, but in RL we haven't reached AI, general AI yet. Though IBM believe it was that donated $1 billion towards R&D for general AI, which I find quite interesting. Yeah. I mean, the reason, the logical reason why AI is banned in the Star Citizen universe is because Chris Roberts doesn't want automated systems. That's why. Because Chris wants everything to be skill based. So. What's my favorite bit of alien history? You all like Gemini? Gemini weapons? You like the FR-76? I think it's the 76, right? It's the FR-66. I think it's the gun. Is that the pistol or is that the machine gun? I know Nurasama. F-55, that's a little different. LH-86, yeah. FR is a shield type. Yeah, FR-66 is a shield type, my bad. The AO-3, C-54, yeah. LH86. Yeah. Those sorts of things. Yeah, you know those guns? Come here. Get close. Get very close. I'm gonna tell you a little bit of lore behind them. All of those guns were designed by an alien. By a Tavaran orphan. Yes, really. Oh, I'm just talking about how the Tavaran built the entirety of the Gemini weapons loadouts. Not sure if they did a pass with other weapons or not, but I'm starting to like the AO3 now. The lore behind it is a Tavaran orphan and a human orphan, or a human runaway. Human runaway girl, Tavaran boy, stuck together and lived on the streets of Fora, I think is the name of it. Deepa!
Depa88 just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you so much, Deepa, for that. That's 5 subs. You're very important, Papa. Very impressive, very pedestrian. All of you rock. Thank you so much, Deepa. You madman. You mad lad. But yeah, Caffeine Fiend. Basically, I can't begin to explain to you, but the gist is yes. There's a lot of stuff that's happened between Squadron 42 and today in terms of like the in-lores between 2945 and 2953. I can't even, I have to go over a big list of things, but ships were created. We had the Battle of Oberon. We've had a new Imperator was elected. The creation of the regen and the Ibrahim Sphere, that whole thing exists. Was invented in 2950. Let's see what else is there. The Polaris was introduced at the end of 2945. There's a lot of lore that happens between Squad 42 and Star Citizen, if that's what you're asking. Pubs were established. So Xenother wouldn't like them. No. They had tiny little bird babies. No, they were more like brother and sister. In fact, the fact that the co-founder of Gemini was a Tavaran was kept secret, and it was revealed after the fall of the Messers that it actually was the case. Gemini was named because they wanted the human. His human partner, partner in business, basically his sister, the Tavaran's human sister, was wanted to play it up that she was the business face, and that her brother was the one who designed all the materials, and he's very shy and didn't like the public light, so you didn't want to talk with him. So he built all the guns, and she did all the business stuff. So he was the designer and the tester and all those sorts of things, and it was very similar. Yeah, newspapers. We've got a couple of newspapers. There's I think the Terra Gazette. There's a couple of different news organizations, which are newspapers and news shows. Someone else asked about AI. So what we have right now is not AI in the traditional sense. There are 3, as far as I know, and I'm not an expert in AI in any way, but I did some research for a video I did on it. There are 3 different stages of AI, generally speaking. What we're at right now is what are called expert systems. There's also like learning AIs, which is what we're really working on like right now. Kind of the things that kind of grow over time, get better at what they do. These systems are very basic systems. They're really good at one thing, or they're learning to do one thing well, but they're not really artificial intelligence. They're like simple. They're very simple. They're like the biggest intelligences, like the best intelligence we can replicate is that of like an animal. It has some things it can do, but it can't do everything well. A general intelligence, or an artificial general intelligence, or AGI, is the next step. That is creating an artificial intelligence, an AI, which is as smart as a human. So personality, and like be able to do everything a human can do. And then there is artificial superintelligence, ASI. There's a stage above it, which is creating an AI that's smarter than all of us. Do you remember who Kaplan of Crusade Industries? Yeah, Kelly Kaplan? Yeah, I do. Machine learning systems, yeah. There's a couple of different arguments over what's the best option. I would say 20, 30 years ago, expert systems was the way they was going to go, where you just get a system that's really good at one thing. And then recently you have machine learning systems, which are starting to they start learning the way humans do. They start with some basic ideas, and then as they go forward, they learn how to improve themselves. And at a certain point, those machine learning systems get so good at what they do that they start making decisions that their designers just go, we don't know why the fuck it made that decision. It just did. And that's the kind of systems we're working on right now. And that seems to be the better path to sentience, but we don't know. Speaking of news, is there any plans to have in-game streaming news? I think Elite had touched on this. I think that's a plan. Yeah, Elite had Galnet. I think we're going to have some stuff of that, but CIG has almost entirely confirmed that they're going to be in-game broadcasts, if not radio shows, which you'll be able to tune into, which will give you information about the verse, including lore and stuff. We actually know that we'll have to deal with the Vandal and the PU. We can barely know aliens. Could the barely known aliens that the Xi'an are afraid of could become the enemy? They could be at some point. They probably will be, but it's like years down the line. Question, why would we ever want sentient machines? Like, ever? Well, there is the idea belief behind it that if you have a sentient machine, an artificial general intelligence would have all of the advantages of being human and none of the disadvantages of being human. The brain, the creative capacity, the problem-solving capabilities, but it wouldn't have the downsides of like physical bodies like we do, degeneration and all that sort of thing. So it can become very good at what we want it to do. So we could create a machine that was smart enough to run systems faster and more efficiently than any of us could ever run, which would mean that you'd create systems that are a system which could make decisions on the fly for safety precautions, for assembly purposes, could analyze and update things much faster than we could. Simply because even though it's as smart as we do, it just has more information, more ways of gathering. Because like we can't hook our brains up to the internet, but this thing could, in theory. Why sentient though, not clever? A lot of people think that sentience, or sapience and sentience is key to intelligence. So you just may not be able to get that sort of level of thinking out if you don't have sapience. Because, like, why are we problem solvers? Because we have solutions that we have to solve. Why do we have solutions we have to solve? Because we have things that want to kill us, or we used to. And we also developed, to help us with those things, we developed things like fear and self-preservation. And these instincts, which are not unique to humans, but are definitely part of sapience. or sentience at the very least. And those sorts of things built on top of each other to create what we have, evolution. If you create a machine that has no sense of self-preservation or no sense of like problem-solving problems, you're not creating really a machine. You're just creating you're not creating something that can work like that. Because we create problems, we do, but like the very basic survival sense, our ability to problem solve comes from survival. You know, we don't have the tools, we don't have built-in tools that help us other than hands. We don't have claws, we're not made of armor, we're naked. We don't have very much like hair at all to keep us warm. We need to have clothing. Like our stomach requires us to cook food. Like we can't like eat raw food like a lot of animals do. We had to problem solve. And that was an evolutionary trait, so. Yeah, but at a certain point, how can you know that a machine can problem solve problems that you don't program it to solve? Yeah, sentience is a form of consciousness. Being aware that you exist or being aware that you have things to do, so. Got play tic-tac-toe against itself. It calms down, we're safe, yes. Sentience is emotion. Sentience isn't emotions, though. Animals are sentient. You're thinking sapience, which is self-awareness. But emotions are also important, so. Well, getting into that weird talk that we get to at the late nights in the office hours. I'll be right back, and then we'll do the monthly report. Oh, I'll turn on the fun stuff. There you go, chat.
Two words. Distress.
Weapons free, y'all. Good news, everyone.
Drugs.
I'm pilot.
Drugs. Distress. Bacon.
Drugs.
Good news, everyone.
Two words. Distress. Bacon.
Good news, everyone.
Everybody and his dog calls himself an outlaw.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy. I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy.
Hello.
Two words.
I like money.
Distress. Bacon.
Good news, everyone. I'm flying.
Drugs.
I'm pilot.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Casitas wares, if you have coin.
news, everyone.
2 words. Distress bacon.
Barcelona! Barcelona!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Words. Distress
Kitchen amount.
Everybody and his dog calls himself an outlaw.
Hello, I like money.
I'm Fly. I'm Pilot.
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy.
I'm Fly. I'm Pilot.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Weapons free, y'all.
Barcelona! Barcelona!
words. Distress bacon.
Agit as wares, if you have coin.
Barcelona! Barcelona! Kitchen amount.
Everybody and his dog calls himself an outlaw.
Distress bacon.
Everybody and his dog calls himself an outlaw.
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy. I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy.
News, everyone.
2 words. Distress bacon.
Kitchen amount.
Weapons free, y'all.
Everybody and his dog calls himself an outlaw.
Drugs.
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Good news, everyone!
I'm Fly. I'm Pilot.
This shit I'm out.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy.
Drugs.
Good news, everyone!
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Barcelona! 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 Barcelona!
Hey, how you doing there? Just turn in. I came back. No more. No more fun. Turning off the fun. We're getting into the other stuff. Let's just use the restroom. Finish your daily Duolingo Klingon lessons. Yeah, taking a poo. He has been lurking sick from treatment prostatic arthritis. All right, hope you can relax. I am not. Clicked all the alt. He stopped lights in the CAPTCHA. What? I don't have CAPTCHA on. I don't know what's going on. All right. So we're going to do the Squadron 42 month report. If you haven't been to a capsule before, the way this works is I'm going to read everything as if it's a YouTube video. So I will not be responding to chat, or rarely responding to chat. So if you have a burning question for me, ask me after the fact. I'll do a couple of minutes afterwards and then call it a night, because I think I'm already kind of coming up towards the end. So, because I've been streaming for about 3 hours. I try to keep this at maximum 4 hours. Try not to go over that. Well, yeah, and just so you know as well, just for those of you just hanging out, we will be back on Saturday. I will not be here tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to sit down and finish working on the Zeus video. My voice has been kind of weird. I have it all written. I just need to record it and then edit it. And so I'm going to record it and edit it tomorrow. Probably record it, maybe not get it all edited. Hopefully get it all edited, because it's not that bad, not that difficult. And then we will, and then that'll be up for everybody else on Saturday. It'll be up for patrons as soon as I finish it. So, and then Sunday, I don't know. I may be streaming on Sunday. If I do Sunday, we'll do lore stuff. So. So hi, Future Me, when I watch this on YouTube. Well, thank you for coming on there, Unsound. You've been working hard nonstop since LA, man. Victoria, you gotta hit while the iron is hot. And CIG doesn't want to slow down, so I can't either. My plan is to spend a lot of time with my family this weekend. That's probably what I'm going to be doing on Sunday, honestly, is it's my wife's and I, we call it a date-iversary, which is more important to us often than our wedding anniversary, because it's when we first started dating, which was November 9th, 2008. And we've been dating since then, so about 15 years. I am 36, so almost half my life I've been with my wife. So that's why I will be taking some time on Sunday, and I'm going to be taking some time this coming week before Thanksgiving to just kind of, unwind, because the 17th is going to hit hard. So there's no lore on the Kraken. There is some lore on the Kraken, but not enough to justify a full video of it yet, though. So, do you not have personal time? Not really. For those of you who don't know, I work. I have a day job, so this isn't my full job because it just doesn't pay me enough. I have a day job. I teach, and so I get up at about 6. Depends on the day, but between 5 and 6 in the morning. Do exercise, get stuff ready, go to school, and then I'm at school until at minimum 5 o'clock. Usually there till 6 on certain days. So then it takes about 20-30 minutes for me to get home. Depends on the day as well. Sometimes it can take me up to an hour. So I get home anywhere between 7 and 8. And then if on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, or Thursdays and Fridays, sometimes Wednesdays, I stream. And I stream until about almost close to midnight, go to bed, wake up. And then on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm usually working on video stuff or like writing or editing or that kind of stuff. So I do have some personal time, but it's not a ton of time. There's not a lot of lore on the Reclaimer, which really surprises me. Hopefully it will be. You need to take a month off. You're gonna have a lot going on. That's the advantage is that Star Citizen tends to go in waves. So once we hit December, touring into January, I'm gonna tell you this right ahead, especially if you are a new player to Star Citizen, January is dead. The entire month is just a write-off. There won't be much, if any, updates. There might be some minor updates, but that stuff won't be pushed out until the second week of January at the earliest. And most of that month you're not going to get any ISCs. You're not going to get a lot of dev updates. You may not even get a monthly report, because CIG in the past has done January and December monthly reports in February, because they're just not there. So as a result, January is going to be my month of not streaming a lot, streaming some, but, not going super hard. Doing more of the esoteric and different lore videos, maybe doing other universes lore videos. So, and then February is going to be pretty easy. February through like April. And then May and June go really hard, and then they dip off again in July through about August, September, and then October through December. It's just fucking go, go, go. So. The entire month is a write-off. I mean, what I mean by that is like, it is like, if you're looking for new content, anything that's not already released, unless you're enjoying the content that's out there, don't bother. There's probably not even going to be that many of the hot fixes over that one as well. So yeah. And Montreal will build 3 systems in January. Where's the lie? Love the lore vids. I listen to them during the work and before bed. My bedtime stories. Yeah, and I'm trying to. The key is I just got to do more of them. Got to record them and edit them and put them up there. I'd love to be able to do those more often. Like, an ideal world would be me pulling away from being full-time teaching to part-time streaming or teaching, or doing substitute work, and then doing most of my time in content creation. I like teaching, love teaching, but it's not exactly something that I have a lot of growth and money opportunities in. But it's also very dangerous to do this full-time. This is not a job you want to do full-time forever. You need to eventually transition out of it and doing other things. So. I sincerely doubt they're going to get 3.22 out. CIG thinks they're going to get 3.22 out. I think they're going to get 3.22 out into like wave 1 PTU, and then call it a week or call it a year and come back in January, February to release 3.22 as their quarter 4 release. There's a great fanfic of a reclaimer serial killer. It's been years since I read it, though. I'm glad someone else has read The Garbage Lady. Do you know who wrote The Garbage Lady 4-over? I'm waiting for 4-over. I don't know what the delay is there. Eris. David of the relay _SC. David is a writer, an aspiring writer. He a creative like fiction writer, and he's been a member of the Star Citizen community for a very long time. So it's a very good work. Eris is a very talented writer. David is very good. I've known Eris for a very long time. In fact, honestly, Eris should be writing stories for CIG in terms of like fiction for CIG. But hey, relay. Relay _CIG. Jake, is that you? Listen, someone naturally brought up fucking the garbage woman, and I'm like, I gotta rep my boy. Eris David's fucking amazing. Yeah, he's been a content creator for Star Citizen for a long time. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talented writers in the Star Citizen community that could easily do some good writing for CIG. The problem is that they would really have to pick through the current situation, but... All right. Let's do this. Come on, get in the capsule mindset there, chat. Get in the capsule, Sinji. All right. All right. Woosah. You ready, chat? I'm ready. Bonesaw's ready. Hello and welcome to another Office Hours. Capsule. That's right. Capsule. This is a tiny little segment of my Office Hours live stream, streamed at twitch.tv/TheAstroPub and youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Come join us live. Like the chat here. Chat's going to lie to you and tell you this is pre-recorded. Guess technically not wrong because I'm recording this live for you. And then people have asked me in the past, or someone asked me in the last one, why do you have to record these live? And the answer is there's a lot, and there's a lot of there's a lot of content usually with these monthly reports, and there's a lot that goes into editing and other stuff like that. If I really wanted to, I could go really in depth and do a lot of cool stuff with it, but I don't have time. And this was always intended as a fun little thing to hang out with, chat live and kind of read through this and get people's reactions. So this is me recording this specifically for y'all's, so you don't have to, if you also don't have to go through a 4-hour live stream of all of the topics. So what we're doing today is we're going to read the Squadron 42 monthly report from October. Now, a couple things. One, October was CitizenCon month, so you're going to hear a lot of we prepared for CitizenCon, we prepared for CitizenCon, we prepared for CitizenCon. So there's a lot of stuff which is going to be kind of light in terms of content. So with all of the amazing stuff they showed off at CitizenCon, it's we're just not going to see a lot in the monthly reports, probably throughout the rest of the year. May pick up a little bit more. It's also important to note that Squadron 42 is officially feature complete. We don't know what that means in terms of where it's actually at, but a lot of the features that are the core of the game are now done. So a lot of this, what we're going to see is polish work, reworking of level designs, maybe a couple of changes here and there in dialogue or in enemies and level design. So there's going to be some changes, and a lot of this stuff is going to be the dial-in changes for gameplay, making the game fun, make it stand out, and changing difficulties here and there. So that's really what we're going to be seeing. The other thing is that this is a full read-through of the monthly report. I am not summarizing. There's nothing wrong with summaries, but if you want to be as informed as possible, I always suggest reading every little bit of information you can get to, but that's not humanly possible unless you're crazy like myself, and even I don't read everything that comes out. So if you want to know what's going out month to month, it's important to read through the entirety of the reports, because anyone who's doing summaries is going to drop some of that information. That's what I do. I'll add my own little things here on the side, but that's why this is longer. So you can think this is the audiobook format of the monthly reports. So if you enjoy this, sit back, relax, and let's get started with the October 2023 monthly report for Squadron 42. All right, so this was a new one they added. 2 Squadron 42 recruits. Develop update 1.11.1.23. Reference CIG UK, CIG DE, CIG LA, CIG TX. FAO Squadron 42 recruits. Welcome to October's Squadron 42 development report. Enclosed, you will find details on the latest progress made across the campaign, including updates to repair animations, a key combat sequence, and medical scenes. Thank you for your continued support of Squadron 42. Sincerely, CIG Communications. I'm going to steal that. Oh, that's a nice little summary right there that'll steal that in there. So, all right. AI content. In October, AI's content focus was reviewing the functionality showcased in the I Held the Line video shown at CitizenCon, specifically the Stanton's hangar, medbay, and new gym area. So NPCs getting swole. For the hangar, the team concentrated on the visual quality of the deck and utility crew animations. This involved fine-tuning their interactions so they go about their tasks such as repairing and inspecting the Gladius. Moreover, AI content incorporated responsive behaviors for NPCs on the hangar sidelines. These characters now dynamically react to the player's actions in the cockpit, significantly amplifying the inverse quality of the in-game environment. The medbay focus was on ensuring that the animations transitioned smoothly and seamlessly. A new sat-up sleeping patient was also added to the medbay. The doctor periodically scans the patient to check their vital signs, which is part of the medical behavior system. While not directly related to I Held the Line, part of the team worked on a new gym area, setting up usable items like treadmills and dumbbells. NPCs will use the treadmills for running exercises and lift dumbbells for weight training. After these exercises, they will return to a seat to recover before continuing their activities. Very nice. AI features. Last month, AI features focused on gameplay functionality for a key combat encounter. The enemy now learns when a player exploits an attack pattern, damage rates were increased, and weapon cooldown was decreased to ramp up the challenge over the course of the fight. This was a big one that they've been doing over the last couple of months. They've been trying to teach the AI how to counter players. So they've been feeding the AI player data to try to help them learn better in terms of countering how players maneuver. Obviously, this isn't done in an attempt to increase replayability. So the same feature will work, but it won't. The same trick won't work twice, kind of thing on the same AIs. So The team then made balance changes to fight tactic TPS queries so the different tactics, pusher, strafer, and defender, feel more distinctive. They also continued to review cover usage, which generated numerous fixes on how NPCs find and move to cover, step out to fire, and exit, particularly when in defend areas. AI features are currently developing an all-encompassing test level for combat that will allow them to test all of the features together. There, they can add various parameters and select different enemies with varying combinations of traits. This new level will be used to test combat consistency across the PU and Squadron 42, and will provide a solid place to test improvements and bug fixes to AI combat and its related functionality. For example, ammo usage, mounted weapons, attack and defend areas, medics, accuracy, and stealth gameplay. I think we saw some of that at CitizenCon. But it's also important that not all NPCs will be super, like, professional and lethal in their attacks. Some of them will be kind of more wild and crazy, so not all NPCs are going to be super difficult. It's just each NPC type, and type being their tags, or what do they call them? Traits. Each of their traits will kind of vary up their how they act. So, all right. Animation. The team continued streamlining combat animations, working on skill level 1 takedowns, as well as interactable animations in the environment. They're also working on the first select animations for weapons and their malfunctions, continuing to capture animations where needed to to complement scenes and locations, and working through the various facial animations for stored performances and ambient dialogue. I think that tells us why the LH86 was used so much in the demonstrations, because it's the only one that has gem animations. And a lot of the skill level 1 takedowns were in when they all held the line to. Basically, a lot of the animation stuff was made specifically for that trailer, or at least uses the prototype for that trailer. So they're trying to kind of work their way in. Now they're doing more animations and weapons and stuff like that. Audio. Throughout October, Audio implemented and polished sounds for I Held the Line. Using our newly created multi-band compressor, we improved the weapon sound effects across all guns in Squadron. We also designed some more cinematic assets and provided Foley to key animations throughout the trailer. Audio team. Tech sound design spent time ensuring the tech demonstration videos had the proper sounds and the desired synchronization and timings occurred. Vast improvements were also made to the team's vehicle systems. Audio code generated new tech that will bring Squadron 42 sounds to life and fixed any bugs that came to light. The dialogue team supported content polish for CitizenCon by fixing bugs and implementing the latest dialogue recordings. They also plugged in the breathing system that provided more immersive experience. Development of the Walla system continued too, which will help create a lively experience as players explore the world. October's work included a series of internal test recordings. I believe the Walla is the stuff, the audio that's playing in the background. It's not individual AIs talking with each other, but you'll hear like background chatter, which will kind of serve as background chatter for the environment. So. Engine. Well, this is a small one. I will still do my same thing. I'm not an engineer. I do not know the will of the Omnissiah. I do not know the canticles of the machine spirit. I cannot turn rocks into replicators. I am but me. So while I am learning some of this information, I do not know engine. So if you do, please tell me in the comments below what this all means. Thank you. The majority of the engine team's work last month involved preparing for CitizenCon. All teams were hands-on deck to deliver features and support other teams on work related to what we showed at CitizenCon. This is always an interesting time, as it is very stressful, but also rewarding when everything comes together due to focused effort. The core team primarily worked on bugs for the live release, including some long-standing memory leaks on the live server. The physics team focused on delivering improvements to the Maelstrom destruction system and the cloth and hair tech. Lastly, the entity system tech team supported the online team to deliver the server meshing demo while continuing to work on editor entity streaming. hold on. The editor entity streaming. What? Features gameplay. Last month, gameplay features polished the new character customizer, working on skin texture and tone, freckles, blemishes, eyes, makeup, and more. On the new star map, the team worked to get the markers and labels working correctly on planets. This involved enabling the magnetic cursor to snap to icons, implementing the search box, and a variety of smaller improvements. Work also began on the Squadron 42 specific front end, making it feel like an extension of the game world. It will feature a changing environment reflecting how far through the campaign players are and be populated with collected items. That's interesting. They also added a SimPod UI screen to allow players to select which simulation they want to play, seamlessly transition to, and the view how did you do screens upon completion. Sounds like the SimPod's getting. We knew the SimPod was going to go into Squadron, so cause that's a staple of Chris Roberts games. So it'll be interesting to see how that works in there. SimPod. Gameplay story. Much of Gameplay's stories October involve focusing on reviewing new content seen during the I Held the Line video. As part of this, they expanded their scenes with the hangar deck crew, adjusting idles and welding animations for the character on top of the Gladius, and updating the ladder climb animations to fix some clipping. They also added some more idles to the deck crew character in the cockpit, and added the new MOBA glass effect to the refueling character. In the med bay, various bug fixes were fixed relating to the handheld props, while additional interactions were added to the medical consoles. Alongside this, Gameplay Story used some new mocap to extend the first scene in Chapter 1, created a long idle for an early group scene, and added some player-injured lines to the medbay scenes. Very cool. Graphics and VFX programming. For the graphics, Planet Tech, and VFX programming teams, the majority of October was spent touching up many features demonstrated at CitizenCon, including the water simulation, global illumination, maelstrom, fire, and rifle scopes. The Vulcan sub-team continued tackling the remaining performance and stability issues. In October, the social narrative team supported the preparation for I Held the Line, including the landing and takeoff scenarios on the Idris hangar. Landing is something we've been focusing on recently, including tactile deck crew interactions with both your ship and your fellow wingman, Old Man, social narrative team. Work was also done on NPCs repairing the landed Gladius, featuring the new welding animations, inspecting the cockpit, and refueling. These animations were layered on top of the systematic AI to move the hangar experience closer to the team's overall expectations. Away from the I Held the Line, the team continued to focus on the Idris interstitials and the Fortune's Cross location. So Fortune's Cross is a place in Odin. We saw a little bit of it in the I Held the Line trailer. If you watch the trailer, when the Old Man and the player are moving up a kind of like an escalator, and you turn and you see the Big Benny's noodle thing, I believe that's Fortune's Cross. As well as when you're talking with not Dooley, Odin's Dooley. Why am I forgetting her name? But the SAIC, the advocacy agent in charge of the system. Trejo, thank you, chat. Trejo, when you're interacting with her, that's Fortune's Cross. Where were we? For example, they revisited a number of medical room scenes. Previously, medical staff involved in a narrative scene wouldn't reference the fact that the player could be injured. So Gameplay Story provided level design with new content that addressed this issue, which involved the medical crew pausing at multiple points to tell players to head to the healing station if injured. Very good. Narrative. The narrative team spent time finalizing content captured last month to get initial animations and audio passes into the game so they could experience the moments in situ. They'll continue to sync with the design teams to review the levels as this content is implemented. Meanwhile, Narrative continued their work completing the texture requirements for the game. As mentioned in previous reports, this includes all the message exchanges that the player will receive for both gameplay and social messaging, reviewing mission objectives, adding Galactopedia entries, and looking at other environmental content to help sell the story and feel the various locations. On a personal note, it was tremendously exciting to meet all of you who came out to CitizenCon and how your reactions to the update and hear your reactions to the update video. It was great. I wish I could have talked to the more of the lore team after the video, but c'est la vie. R&D. In October, time was dedicated to cloud shaping improvements, which will allow the team to author more varied cloud content. For example, it's now easier to break up cloud fronts. Improvements also provide more flexibility in blending shape noise at height. As a result, the consistency of short versus long distance reads was improved, and tiling from orbit is less noticeable. Most improvements are planned, particularly with regards to improving details at cloud fridges. The first iteration of ground fog was also made available to content teams, which follows terrain up to a specified height per location and fully integrates into the atmosphere. As a result, it receives volumetric shadow. Wow, my brain is not working. As a result, it receives volumetric shadows from both clouds and terrain, along with dampening effect and indirect light scattered through the atmosphere into the view ray. Moreover, support was added to cast volumetric shadows from clouds into the atmosphere. This includes various optimizations to sample and evaluate volumetric cloud shadows. As a byproduct, volumetric cloud shadows now also update lazily to further reduce cost when the camera or sun isn't moving significantly. Cloud shadow quality at low sun angles was also improved by compressing the available space into the shadow map to allow for more details around the camera. Additionally, a few long-standing issues with cloud rendering was fixed. For example, the ghost lines on clouds that were occasionally visible when looking up at them and towards the virtual planet horizon were fixed, and the setup of LOD constants for cloud shaping related texture lookups was updated to avoid excessive blurring when rendering clouds at half resolution. So many clouds in that paragraph. Lastly, work on ground fog resulted in various optimizations, as well as a fix for subsample sized holes in planet terrain height maps. These height maps are used for various purposes, such as building planet terrain shadows or spawning GPU particles on the ground. The latter was especially subject to those holes, as they could cause infrequent erratic spawns of particles. Looking forward to work on new temporal cloud renderer node will commence in November. VFX. Last month, the VFX team continued working on several cutscenes alongside the cinematics team. They also continued polishing effects for various locations, some of which were revealed at CitizenCon. Several improvements were made to existing weapon and gadget effects, while dynamic fire effects were polished for Squadron 42 and a future Star Citizen patch release. All right, like I said, it's pretty light this month. R&D is almost a copy-paste from the monthly report for Star Citizen. A lot of stuff they're working on narrative, the social interactive team. The big one was the AIs being able to, like the AI medical teams now telling you to go to a place to get healed up if you're injured, which is interesting. Did we skip gameplay story? Well, I may have skipped some of those. Looking through some of it, it's like alongside this gameplay story used the new mocap to extend their first scene in Chapter 1, created a long idle for early group scene, and added some player injured lines to the med base scenes. I think we did go over that. Some feature stuff about player, like a character customizer. A lot of AI engine stuff. Mentions of an editor entity streaming, which is interesting. Audio stuff. A lot of animations, which we saw at takedowns and the like jam animations, like weapon malfunction animations. And then the AI stuff is basically they're learning how to fight you. They're getting better at learning how to fight you, and they're becoming better at kind of little social content. That's pretty much it. Very short video, only about a little over 20 minutes. But thank you for watching. As always, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below if you have a chance to. I want to know what you think about this. Probably next month is going to be a little bit bigger. Hard to tell, though. We're coming up towards the end of the year, so a lot of this content set gets kind of thin, especially as Squadron 42 is now feature complete. So a lot of the stuff we're going to get is much more focused on specific levels or other aspects. But, and of course, always join us live, join chat live, twitch.tv/TheAstroPub, youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive, and Thursdays to join them live afterwards. So say goodbye, chat. And like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black. No problems. Yes, absolutely. You know me. I'm amazing. Single take. No light. No audio. Everything. We're fine. We're fine. How are you? Professional streamer, by the way. But now the let me see, who was that? Someone said earlier. Bummeat said, sorry, my app crashed. Did he say anything about performance increases? You're not going to see any performance increase news in Squadron 42's monthly report. Mostly in Star Citizen. Though there is a little bit here. Most of it was focused on back-end performance, though. Yeah. Wrong monthly report. We're not going to see any kind of significant player side improvements until Vulcan is done, and Vulcan's not going to be done until at the earliest March of next year. Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be a while. When's the last time you played, Bummeat? Why do you say it won't be until March? They seem to have a lot of stuff done, but they would have put that information in the release view if they were confident they would have Vulcan integrated. Because what they've said in the past is that when they get Vulcan integrated, they don't want to force everyone to have Vulcan. They're going to do a hybrid system where people can choose Vulcan, or they can choose the systems they already have, because they won't have all of Vulcan integrated at once. And we haven't even gotten to that point yet. So now that Squadron 42 is feature complete, do we have a proper system specs for it? Probably not, because feature complete doesn't mean that they're not going to have performance improvements. It just means that like most of the stuff in the game that's going to be for the game is done. Yeah, generally speaking, when I make a statement like I don't think this is going to come until this point, it's usually because CIG has made a statement about something else that kind of relates to it, or about that topic that we would have seen before then. So Yeah, they're still optimizing Squadron 42. So Squadron 42, we won't get proper system specs until after the optimization pass. Probably once it goes gold is when we'll know the actual system specs. But that will be, if my hopes are correct, we'll get that in August. But I don't believe we're going to see Squadron 42 next year. I think we'll see Squadron 42 in 2025. Yeah, it was really weird that they said feature complete instead of just saying we're in beta. And polished phases, beta dev, with balancing, content addition, and optimizations. But again, don't hold us to that. I always assume it was backed by something. I just wondered what the Vulcan comment was specifically. Yeah, there was something they mentioned, I believe, in either a monthly report or in an Star Citizen Live or possibly an ISC, where they said that they didn't want to integrate Vulcan. They didn't think they were going to have a bunch of Vulcan stuff integrated, but once they had a bunch of Vulcan stuff integrated, they didn't want to force players to use it because it could cause, because it's not fully implemented, it could cause some systems to downgrade. So they wanted to, before they could get fully integration, they wanted to give kind of people an option. You know how when you start up a game, an older game, sometimes that has like support for newer, like DirectX, you'll get like, oh, run this in DirectX 9 or DirectX 10, you know, that kind of option. So yeah, because it has the word complete in it. Rather than saying beta, saying it's complete means, tells people to say, oh, it's complete. I think 2025 Invictus is a great guess, but we'll see. From the sounds of things, even from this monthly report, there's nothing in here that seems alpha related. Pretty much everything they're doing is creating. They're using the systems they already have in place to create new AI behaviors. They're working on animation stuff, audio. The engine stuff is mostly just improvements and stopping like memory leaks. The feature gameplay is entirely on things like the customizer, testing the customizer, doing the front end UI, the stories all review. Same with the social narrative and the narrative. It's all just like improvements here and there. Like, hey, we need to pick up here, pick up there. There's nothing that's like super, like they had to build new tech for it. It's all post-alpha. Yeah. Well, I found someone on freaking Twitter, a dev, talked about how they were doing post-alpha work on something and pre-beta work on something else, and I was like, what the fuck? This is a term? Don't tell me, don't gaslight me into this is a term. Whoever started saying post-alpha. I feel like they're afraid of using the word beta. I think they're worried it might get they'll get a bit for using it. I also think that a lot of people still erroneously believe that players will test Squadron 42, which they won't. Like, you're not going to have players testing Squadron 42 at all. Hey, Ram. Coming at the kind of last minute, we're kind of wrapping this up. But what is feature complete? Chapter 1 or more? Because they said something about improving the transition between chapters. So this is where things get. They wouldn't do closed testing because that would leak it would leak like a sieve. Look at closed testing in the for the Evocati PTU. That shit, people leak it instantly. Early access? I don't think we're gonna see early access. because all of this is narrative driven, so they'd have to build something else out entirely for people to play that had nothing to do with Squadron, which I don't know if they'll do. So here's the confusing part. Squadron 42 is really 3 games. It originally was going to be 1 game, but then they broke it up into 3. So when they say Chapter 1, what they mean is Squadron 42 Chapter 1 is the first game. But the game is also broken up into chapters. So Squadron 42 Chapter 1 has a Chapter 1, a Chapter 2, a Chapter 3. It has, I think, 27 or 28 chapters. So Squadron 42, the first game, Squadron 42, the first, has chapters inside of it. So, and the problem is that CIG has used different terminologies to describe them in the past. Originally, they were calling it episodes. Then people thought it was going to be like episodic release, similar to Telltale Games. So they changed that to started calling it chapters, but they already called the internal missions chapters. So yeah, it's fucking confusing. The best way I can describe it is there are 3 games. Squadron 42 Part 1 is what we're going to be playing, and that is feature complete. They might have to release a handbook for understanding the Squadron. It's really not that complicated. They'll nail down their terminology when it comes closer to the release. But all you have to understand is that there are 3 games in Squadron 42. Squadron 42 Part 1 is what we're getting. In theory, Squadron 42 Part 2 and Part 3 are not going to see new features. They might see new features, but likely not. So it could be that all of Squadron 42 Part 1, 2, and 3 are feature complete. But we're only going to see Part 1 soon. That's the 27, 28 chapter, 28 mission game that we're going to be getting. They use non-standard terminology everywhere. I'm surprised they say guns that aren't talking about Benny's noodles. So did CR until someone bonked him and said, "Good God, no, that'd take forever." Yeah, basically, Aaron came in and said, "No, we're not doing this. We're breaking this up into 3 games." So. From the basic gist of what I can get, CIG is the way that the Squadron 42 works is your first, outside of the initial missions with you on the Gauntlet, you will eventually get transferred to the Stanton, and the Stanton is going to be your ship that you live on for the majority of Part 1. Part 2 has you transfer to and this isn't a leak. This is just what CIG has said in the past, so it seems like where the narrative is going, because this has also happened in Spring. I'm about to leak a bunch of things to a bunch of people. Thank you, Richard Scale, for that raid. Welcome, everyone, from Richard Scale Screen. My name is Paul Berserker01 Batman Show, your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub. Oh, yeah, they love doing that. They're not going to call the chapters DLCs. They're not, because that would be releasing in an episodic format similar to Telltale Games, and that's not what they'll do. I bet the whole thing's been mocap, but graphically building the game out is being done in 3 parts. Yeah. What is the other one? Oh yeah, part 2. You get transferred to a like an escort carrier, because the Pegasus was at one point was going to be the major focus, the major hero's ship, and then eventually to a Bengal, because that's kind of how like Squadron 42, Wing Commander worked as well. Though I think you were always out of the Tiger's Claw. That sort of concept though. You're gonna bounce around a little bit, but we know at least what the very beginning of Squadron is. It's the Battle of Vega. They might. I mean, the Krugeri is the new Tiger's Claw, but so the Retribution is Chapter 3 stuff. The Retribution isn't built in lore until 2946. It's not released until then. I would like to see a Kilrathi-like. You're probably not going to, because that's what the Vanduul are. Kilrathi are entirely owned by EA. So... yeah, God rays in gaming is when the sun shafts come through clouds. They were always called God rays. That's just kind of their terminology. I think they actually have an official terminology. That's the one that CIG uses, but it's like the technical terminology. But it's like no one knows it as that. It's the God rays. They're God rays. They're actually joking about that at the after party too. The CIG team members were. Going through all of this, making sure it's all done. Or we get a Vanduul buddy that portrays us later. We might. The DLC game they were going to do for Squadron 42 was called Behind Enemy Lines. So we might see something like that. Yeah, light shafts. They call them something different. All the best sci-fi has both lizard people and cat people. Elder Scrolls is confirmed a sci-fi game. Game series. I mean, technically it is, because one of the original writers did say that it takes place, like has a future that took place and stuff like that. But like an AI literally goes back in time. Ooh. Ooh. All right, y'all. I'm getting tired. It's well past my recording time. Thank you for joining us. Love your faces. I'll be back on Saturday for the captain's table. I am there with Loken Plays. We execute an Algrid with the info runners, and we're going to sit down and talk ships. We're just going to talk ships. So come join us there. I will be back then, and then after that, that'll probably be it from the week, because I'm very tired, chat. I'm very tired. Love your faces, and like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black. Let's find someone to raid. On Twitch, at least. YouTube, that was much quicker, right? Gabby's Or Hankin. Let's raid Hankin. You know what? I haven't raided DJ Knight, and he's playing Star Citizen. Let's go give some love to DJ, unless he's going to bed.
Who makes the Prospector?
Misk.
Misk, okay. RSI Arastra. Have they announced that already?
Yeah, they announced the name. I'm just talking. He's not responding to me.
Prospect has 4, Expanse has 6. You need 12 for it to work out. It's like hot dog rolls. Okay, cool. I don't even remember that. Stop spoiling it. On that note, it's about time for me to go.